Well, g'day, D-Live, and welcome back to the Gives a Minute D-Live stream for a Wednesday afternoon affair. It has just gone 4 minutes past 3 in the PM for me. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening to you. Whatever the time it is, wherever you're consuming this content, you're always welcome. Right here on the Your Stream, Your Rules Gives a Minute D-Live stream. Your stream, your rules. Looking into the chit chat. I see the H-Man. I see Julia. I see two crew. And that's the end of last stream, so they're not even there. But I do see two crew and therefore two cheeses, because everyone gets a cheers when they join the Gives a Minute D-Live stream chit chat. Two cheeses. Now today being a Wednesday, cryptocurrency is all the conversation. Like to say, if you're CCC, if you're confused, if you're concerned, or if you're considering cryptocurrency, maybe this stream might help you. Not pretending to have the answers, not pretending to have the solutions, not pretending to be a financial advisor, but I am interested in cryptocurrency, and maybe you are as well. And if you are, this could be the stream for you. Maybe you're a little looking at cryptocurrency thinking, what is all this thing I've been hearing about? Maybe this might help you embrace it. Maybe it might help you learn a little. Maybe you might be like, that? I'm not interested in that. Get out of here. And then you're not even going to watch. Doesn't matter. Either way, appreciate the view. But one thing I want to say, if you want to chat with me, if you've got some comments you want to make on this particular stream, this is more critical on these streams. You've got to do it here on this URL, dlive.tv/givesaminute. I'm going to make it super clear for you. There, you can't miss it. dlive.tv/givesaminute. That's where this stream is taking place. Of course, you might say, but hang on, man, I'm watching this on Twitch, or I'm watching this on Trovo, or I'm looking at it on your Facebook page, or I'm looking at it on LinkedIn or on Twitter or YouTube. Well, that's lovely. Well, that's great. Thing is, if you're over there and you're chatting to me on those platforms, you want to add your bit to the thing, I'm not even seeing it because I'm only looking at this chat here. It's the D-Live chat. Hello. I see H-Man. How you doing, H-Man? Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, you got to be on this. That's the chat. I'm not going to be looking elsewhere. So please, if you want to make your comments heard, dlive.tv/givesaminute. And I got to tell you, the stream today, we're going to look specifically at, have you got that URL, by the way? You got it? Can I get rid of it? Oh, it's gone. Too late. Ask me again if you need it later on. We're going to look at PulseBitcoin. Now, here's the thing. I've already invested in PulseBitcoin, but I don't really get it. It's very, okay, so I should have said this at the beginning too. This is a very complex cryptocurrency stream. PulseBitcoin, it's going to be a hard learn, no doubt about it. It's going to be confusing. It confuses me, and I put money into it. Now, what money did I put into it? You might ask, I didn't think you had much money floating around, Gives. No, I don't. But what I did do, and it took me a while to do this, do you remember way back in 2019, or was it 2020? What is it now, 2022? It would have been whenever D-Live went from BTT, from Lino to BTT, and I did my big crypto introduction when I got first into crypto. Well, one of you yahoos, possibly someone that's long gone in the chat, because D-Live has undergone many changes since then. Hello to the slot machines. One of the givers suggested I should buy a little Monero XMR. Why? Well, it's a privacy-based cryptocurrency coin. Privacy is important. It's a way to like launder money, or it could be a way to anonymously transfer money. So I did buy about $500 worth of Monero. Now, this is the thing. This has been sitting in my, let's just call it a wallet. I won't tell you which one until a minute, but it's sitting in my wallet since then, and it's done squiddly squat, diddly dat, jack shit. So, when I saw this PulseBitcoin and the tokenomics surrounding it of how to get it, I was like, I don't really want to do one thing. One thing includes burning Pulse Dogecoin, sacrificing it to get, you're not even getting PulseBit. It's so complex. But either way, I didn't want to get rid of my Pulse Dogecoin. So I went down the other avenue and got rid of my Monero XMR. How did I do that? Basically, I sold the Monero to USD Tether, and then I used the USD Tether, USDT, to swap it out to ASIC. And this is where you're going, what the fuck are you talking about? What? And I get it. It's all too complex. I don't have PulseBitcoin yet. I have ASIC. You need ASIC to mine PulseBitcoin, but it's not what you think. It's not the ASIC miner in the terms of hardware. It's a digital representation of an ASIC miner that you've bought to mine PulseBitcoin. Now, again, I don't pretend to have the answers to this. I don't pretend to know anything really about it, except that I've been embracing and learning from others. To that point, I have a video here that is going to help us learn about it. It's from Jimrat Crypto, who's someone that I've been watching for probably about 8 months now. I was pretty interested in this gentleman. Jimrat Crypto, by the way, is this guy here on this side. This is the guy who's going to be doing all the explaining. His name's Pepe. And this guy here, Sam Stolt, and Jimrat Crypto are running a channel. The channel is called Jimrat Crypto, Crypto in the Morning. And the reason I was watching Jimrat Crypto, or not the reason, but one of the interesting points, side levers into DLive, he used to do a stream with the Joker in crypto. But no surprises for guessing how that wound up, right? The Joker went off and it all went to shit, basically. But Jimrat Crypto continues with his thing. And this particular stream, he's got this guest, Pepe, who is, I'm going to say, a developer with PulseBitcoin and Pulse Doge. I'm not 100% certain on that. But and by the way, I've watched this already. So I know what they're speaking about, but it still seems a little complex to me. So the idea is that we're going to watch this together and pause it and stop it and start it and try to suck as much information from it as possible. The way that may help you is that if you watch this, if you've already seen this video and you still don't get it, kind of like I do, then the more we talk about it and the more we expand upon it, maybe the more we gain from it. And that's not just me then. Because like I said, I've already invested, right? I've already got my $500 worth. In a sense, I don't have any PulseBitcoin yet, but you'll see why in a moment or in a little while. But I'm in it. So I'm not doing this to persuade anybody or to persuade me, because I've already persuaded myself. I've already done the thing. You might say that was a little crazy to do, dude. Yeah. I went in on day 4, 3 days of gestation for this thing to sort of, well, 3 days of watching videos to try to understand it, and I still didn't get it. But I went, well, I'm getting in. Well, I'm looking at this Monero in my wallet and I'm like, what am I going to do with that? It's been sitting there doing nothing. And I'll tell you just a little side spiral there. Because I haven't touched the Monero, all I've been looking at is in my, I use Delta app to track my crypto. But that's just a representation, like the numbers on the screen kind of thing. It's not a wallet where I store anything. It's just the numbers that I've punched in. So I've always seen Monero and the chart's been virtually nothing to speak of in the last 2 years. So I then fired up the, it's called a Monero Desktop GUI, Graphical User Interface. That's the wallet I fired up. Lo and behold, the last time that I'd used that wallet was back when I had the Mac Intel chip. Now I've got an M1 Max Pro, had it for a while. But the last time that I fired that wallet up, it was on the Intel Silicon. And so I got a message saying this wallet doesn't work. So then you got to download the updated wallet, which is no problem. Then you go in and punch in either your seed phrase or your mnemonic, I can never say that word, mnemonic, that word, seed phrase, or you can restore from a keylog or a key, not a keygen, a keylog. Either way, I have all that information, so I was good to go. And when I did that, it had to go back and sync the block, right? The blockchain had to be synced up and everything. And it kept going back and back and back, and it took like 3 to 4 hours to finally completely sync up. and it said 0 funds. I'm like, what? I've got like, and at that stage, it's like 3.4 Monero. It's about $500 worth. I'm like, how can there be nothing in there? Like, I haven't done anything. Like, I've just bought and hodled this shit because someone in the givers told me to do that. So I was like, I don't get this, man. Like, what have I done wrong? So I went on to like, tried to go to forums and like, even joined a Monero Discord, which is more of a ghost town than another Discord that I used to be in. I just couldn't find any help. I was like, what's going on here? I synced up this blockchain. I'm using the new wallet, got my seed phrases, everything's hunky-dory, but it says I've got no funds in there. I even have the block height from when I created the wallet and the date. I was really, really confused. And I was also getting a little pissed off, if I'm being honest, because crypto's hard. And when you think you're doing it right, and you're pretty certain you're doing it right, in fact, you're dead set 100% sure you're doing it right, which I was, and the money wasn't there. So I ended up like going to bed in a huff. This is a couple of days ago. And just usually when this kind of thing happens to me or with me, I've got to just get away from it. And then you take a walk or go for a surf or whatever it is, and you come back. In this case, I went to bed. When I woke up, it dawned on me like someone had smacked me over the head with a big dose of reality. Dude, you sent that Monero from that wallet to your own wallet, your Exodus wallet, dude. So it's in Exodus. And I'm like, of course I did. That's what everybody, and I remember the stream that I did it on because I was getting pissed that I had to send it somewhere else. I'm like, you just bought it and you put it in this wallet. Now I've got to go and get this wallet and go and get another wallet and put that wallet in this. I was like super pissed. Turns out Exodus is a fantastic wallet and I highly recommend you use it. I've got nearly all of my assets in there, the ones that can go in there. But either way, I just went to Exodus, loaded it up, and then I met another little anomaly. And this is the reason why I do these streams, right? This is the reason why I love cryptocurrency as a stream, because you might enter this situation, very similar scenario, and come up against the same wall that I did. It wasn't in the Exodus wallet. It wasn't there. So I've got my portfolio with only display assets with balance, right? So Monero XMR had 3.7 or 3.6 or whatever it was. And I'm like, that's weird. So I search up XMR to add the asset to the list, even though it's got no, even though it should be there, I've got value. And again, it comes up with XMR, no value. There's a little message there saying, I took a screenshot of it. I can't remember what it was. It was like Monero blockchain has undergone updates to yabba dabba dabba, ding dong bang bong, upscally biddly, all these different words. Essentially, what you have to do is you have to refresh the blockchain to the height of your last transaction on the Monero chain, which in my case is the only transaction, the one time that I bought it. And luckily I have that block height and I had the date. So all I did was in Exodus, there's a little advanced tab, and it was, I think it said, you clicked it like a burger drop down menu, and it said something like refresh block height or refresh blockchain, enter block height. And I did that, and then it refreshed, took another couple of hours, and lo and behold, bigga bang bong ding, there goes my Monero sitting there. So yes, I'll acknowledge it was completely my user error. I'd forgotten where I put it. I knew I hadn't done anything with it. When I got to Exodus, it was just a case of that there'd been an upgrade to Monero itself that needed to be reflected inside Exodus. Fair enough. Once I got it, I then sent it using Change Now, sent the Monero to USDT, sent the USDT to my Metamask wallet, and then I went ahead and bought ASIC miner. Now, ASIC. Now that's going to become clear to you once we get into this video. So if you're not sure why I sent it to USDT and why I bought ASIC instead of buying PulseBitcoin, isn't the idea to get PulseBitcoin? This is definitely going to explain that for you. And I could try to explain it for you right now, but I'm certain Jimrat Crypto, Sam Stolt, and Pepe are going to do a much, much, much better job. But before we do get there, I am going to go and grab a coffee. I encourage you to grab something harder maybe. If you want to learn about this, it's going to be taxing. It's going to definitely fuck your brain up. It's extremely complex. It's extremely... if you don't know anything about crypto, this might not be the stream for you. I got to be honest. This one might be like too detailed, too confusing. Hendrik, before we get into the video, how did you go with Steven? Okay, I'll quickly address that before I go and get a coffee as well. So for those regulars that are here for not just the crypto content, I've been fixing my van. I'm not very good with mechanics. I have a battery drain issue, have an alternator that's not putting charge back to the battery. I had to adjust the alternator fan belt and the main fan belt. And let me just say, Hendrik, it was rife with issues, including snapped bolts because of the rust, because of the sea, including a bolt head that I couldn't turn to take the bash plate off because it's been bashed because it's on the bottom of the vehicle. Roxon should have hit it, and the ratchet wouldn't grab it. So I tried to just get 3 off and then bend the bash plate around. Still couldn't do that. Tell you what though, dude, the rubbers, no, the belts were so loose, man. The alternator belt was like a good, like a trampoline, and then the other one, which I'm assuming is we learnt AC and the main, that was even worse, dude. Like that was so loose, I could have easily just pulled it off the pulley. Like it without doing anything, I could have just lifted off the pulley. So I did fix them both. I have photos and videos of it I'll show you tomorrow on the stream, but I did fix them. Now I'm doing a repair on the battery. So I've got a battery charger that runs oddly enough, a Pulse repair. Pulse will fix this. Literally, the Pulse repair mode is repairing the battery, and then I'll charge it overnight, and then tomorrow I'll take it for a run and just see if it makes noises and whatnot. But yeah, so that happened. All right, so just another quick reminder, I would really, I'm not just doing this to get the views and the numbers, but I would really appreciate it if you did come down here, because on these streams, I need as many chatting as possible, because I often run things off you, like bounce things off the chat. And if you're watching this stream, and I'm just going to be super encouraging, if you're watching this and you're not on DLive, please come down to this URL on the screen so that you can contribute and speak. I would really love to hear what you've got to say in addition to what I'm understanding, because I can get this shit wrong, and I do. I get it wrong all the time. So I see the views, I see Twitch, I see Trovo, I see the viewers. So come on down, DLive. Yeah, it's me. You know, I just want you to be here so that we can all learn. At least the belts are tight. Yeah, they're tight as now, dude. Yeah, I'll talk about it more in detail tomorrow and show you some photos and a little bit of video as well. I'm gonna run out and grab a coffee, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna look at this video with Jimrat Crypto, Sam Stolt, and Pepe, and then you can decide whether PulseBitcoin is something you want to go after. You're going to need a few things, though. You're going to need a few things. If you haven't got any Pulse Dogecoin, which we'll touch on briefly in a moment, you're going to need a bunch of other things. I'm going to need a coffee ASAP. I'm going to go and get that. In the meantime, you can enjoy these photographs. These are taken by viewers. We call them givers here on the channel. If you want to submit your own photograph into this, there is a link in my about section down below on DLive again. You got all this shit's on DLive. Go to DLive, go to my channel, look down below in the about section. There's a link to my Discord. That'll teach you how you can get your photographs here. I'm gonna go get this coffee. I'll be right back. All right, I might leave that there for a moment so it can cool down. It's a little warm here today. Probably didn't need a hot drink, but I did feel like I needed a coffee at least, some sort of caffeine to keep the brain focused here. Oh, who did that over on YouTube? Kent Worthers. Yo, Kent, thanks for following on YouTube. Kent, if you're watching this stream, I've got to tell you, man, come on down. I'm going to do it again. Come on down to this URL, dlive.tv/givesaminute. I know you're watching it on YouTube and I'm happy for that. But if you want to make comments and you want to chat with me, I'm only going to be looking at one chat, and it's this one here on DLive. This is the chat you've got to be in if you want to make yourself known, and maybe you can help me discussing PulseBitcoin and you can learn from it as well. Appreciate the sub on YouTube. That's very, very kind of you, because YouTube is very hard for me. So thank you for subbing. But if you are watching the stream, I am broadcasting it everywhere. I've got Restream going here. I got it all these different places it's going to. That's great, but I'm trying to bring you over to DLive for the conversation. So you can continue to watch on YouTube, just pop out the DLive chat. So a lot of people do that actually, because Twitch and YouTube have a better ingest, and there's less latency. Rob Max in the house. G'day, Gives and Givers. How you doing, Rob? Good to see you, buddy. So let me preface this by saying PulseBitcoin is the next project after Pulse Dogecoin. So these are two coins or two tokens that have been created based around Pulse. Now Pulse hasn't launched yet, so it's interesting when a project gets spoken about and discussed, and then it launches before the actual chain that it was based upon. Pulse chain is coming. I hear 2 more weeks. Not exactly sure how long, but it is coming. So in the initial days of Pulse Dogecoin, you were given it for free if you had Hex stakes. So you've heard me speak about Hex a lot. If you got in on Hex when I did, which is now nearly 2 years ago, and you staked it, which I did, which everybody should do because longer pays better. If you did that, you're considered the staker class. And this project, Pulse Dogecoin now, not Pulse Bitcoin, Pulse Dogecoin, was not built upon, but was given to those that staked. So in many ways in life, you don't get money for nothing, and you definitely don't get your chicks for free. Mark Knopfler and the rest of the boys in Dire Straits were lying to you. But in cryptocurrency, you do get crypto for free. A lot of it from everywhere, including not just this kind of way, but you can get it by clicking faucets. You can get it by spinning a wheel. I don't want to encourage the slots. They've already got enough encouragement on DLive as it stands. So you were given Pulse Dogecoin just because you're in the staker class. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means a certain percentage of Pulse Dogecoins came your way, and you could decide to do whatever you wanted with them. Sell them if you want, no sweat. At this point, they're trading at about $8 a coin. I received 265. That's around about 2,000. Last I checked, it's about 2,200 US dollars. That's quite literally $2,000 for nothing. I didn't do anything aside from invest in a cryptocurrency that I was invested in, Hex. Pulse Dogecoin built off the back of that. They want to encourage adoption. They want to get the crew that are involved in Hex, so they airdrop free tokens to those crew. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because PulseBitcoin, which is this one we're going to look at now, one of the ways to get it is to burn your Pulse Dogecoin. Now, what do you think that's going to do? Going to jack the price of Pulse Dogecoin up, right? Less scarcity, less distribution, burnt, gone. That means gone forever. So if you want to get PulseBitcoin, one way to do it is to burn that free Pulse Dogecoin that you got given. You got to be willing to give that up, though. I'm personally not willing to give that up. That thing's just gone up in price, up in prices. Like I said, that's worth about two for me right now. If more Yahoos burn their Pulse Dogecoin, that 2 could be $10,000, $20,000 worth. And then you'd be like, oh shit, I burn it. So I didn't burn it. I wanted to preface that at first. I also wanted to say that Pulse Bitcoin and Pulse Dogecoin aren't really hex related, except for that initial, you get it because you hex staked. So don't think that this is like a Richard Hart endorsed crypto. This is just creators that are hexicans, that are involved in hex, that wanted to do things better, and they want to benefit those that are already in this ecosystem. Or as I'm hearing people say, already in Hexico. It's pretty funny. So that's why you might wanted to have invested in Hex. You would have got that free Pulse Dogecoin and you could trade it or you could hold it. If you held it like I did, I got 265 of them. It's worth about $2,000 right now, $2,200. If you want to get rid of them, you can use that to obtain Pulse Bitcoin. Kind of. You'll see why now. Let's learn why that's kind of. So this is the video from Jim Rat Crypto. This is this gentleman here, Sam Stolt on this side, and this is their guest, Pepe. This will definitely make things a lot easier to understand.
Well, I can't wait to read it though. I'm going to read it right after this, and I want to get to like how everyone can kind of get involved. Obviously, after you're done explaining.
Yeah. So there's two paths that you go by. So we've got this like menage a trois of assets, right? We've got Pulse Dogecoin.
I got to interrupt you real quick because Ryan Lopez sent me a $50 super chat. Hey, thanks, Ryan. Ryan's a good guy. I've been watching Ryan be awesome to everyone in every community since the day I got in here from afar, and I appreciate.
Oh, Rob Max says, wasn't Pulse Chain coming a year ago? Yes, it's 2 weeks away. I don't know, dude.
Appreciate that kind of attitude, and I think that's the attitude that brings things up rather than, sucks value. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I hope you're doing well.
All right. So today at 8 p.m. UTC, you will be able to take your Pulse Dogecoin and put it into this transformation smart contract and transform it into ASIC. Now,
So I'm going to pause this and add my bits to it. What he just said was what I said, but he said it better because you transform, you burn your Pulse Dogecoin, you don't get Pulse Bitcoin, you get the ASIC miner. So you get a token, which is a digital representation. It's like an NFT, but it's not an NFT because that's coming as well. Don't confuse yourself. You get a digital representation of an ASIC miner that you can use to mine Pulse Bitcoin. The only way you get it is by sacrificing or burning or transforming your Pulse Dogecoin. So he just said that, and I want to keep hitting it, reiterating it.
Everyone thinks that ASIC stands for application-specific, integrated circuit, when in fact it is application-specific internet currency. So that's the flip, and the word ASIC is very well known. But you're going to take your one Pulse Dogecoin and get 5 ASIC tokens. Now, HexInfo has virtualized the entire Bitcoin halving events and hash rates, and he's just virtualized it in a way where you can literally be minting Bitcoin again on your laptop or on your cell phone. And it's beautiful. So you take these ASIC tokens, you put them into a smart contract, a staking contract, and out mints Pulse Bitcoin. Now, here's the rate. Up until the first halving period, which is dynamic, by the way, it depends on how many ASIC tokens or ASIC tokens that are made to actually mint Pulse Bitcoin. Up until the first 10,500,000, you get 7.5% yield. So let's use this example. If you had 1,000 Pulse Bitcoin and you then got 5,000 ASIC tokens, you would then end up in a 30-day period with 375 Pulse Bitcoin. Now, what's the market price of Pulse Bitcoin? Well, no one knows. But if that thing turns out to be $20, you've just made $7,500 for 1 month. So it's a 30-day lockup period. Plus, you've got all the value with your ASIC tokens, which at the end of 30 days, they're exhausted from digging into salt mines with their bare hands, mining, right? And you just restart another mine. So for the first 10.5 million Pulse Bitcoin, you're getting 7.5% a month. So what are you going to do with that Pulse?
So sorry, Pepe. I just want to clarify to make sure I'm understanding, and hopefully this is helpful to some of the 230 people who are listening. So Pulse Doge, right? That's on the market right now. The protocol is going to have this ability to get additional tokens this afternoon using Pulse Doge, where if somebody has one Pulse Doge, they can put it into the smart contract and they mint the ASIC token, right? And if they choose to, they could also stake that ASIC token. During that staking period, they're actually able to mint like hyperinflation up to 10.5 million in the sense of 7.5% per month of yield of Pulse Bitcoin. Is that accurate understanding? So
that's confused me. What's the staking?
It is up until the first halvening event. Once you go 10.5 million and one, then the yield that you get is halved, just like with Bitcoin.
So let's talk about the per user mint ratio. Like, what is it? So let's talk. How much does the transaction cost for the ASIC token? Where's the first move you have to make to the ASIC token?
Correct.
So you buy the ASIC token or you mint it?
You could after there's going to be a liquidity pool.
Well, once there's one, let's not talk about like after the first couple of days, just because I don't want other people to get confused. Although that is a great point. But so are we talking? The mint phase is going to be a gas fee, so it's going to be somewhat associated to the gas.
Well, you need Pulse Doge. So right? It's like the Poly stuff and Poly Maximus stuff that they're doing. It's like the Maximus token, right? You submitted.
There's two paths that you can go down. Option A is to take your Pulse Bitcoin and go in and get your ASIC tokens, which end up in your wallet. And then you can choose to stake it for Pulse Bitcoin. All right. And that's at the pre-halvening event rate of 7.5%. The second approach, the one that we're equally excited about, is where you can get something called an ATM, an ASIC token miner, which is an NFT representation of ASIC tokens. And it's pegged at, like, for $1 one ASIC token.
So this is interesting because ASIC is a digital representation of a physical hardware miner, and the ATM token is an NFT, which is a digital representation of a digital representation. This is why I said at the beginning of this. This is going to get complex, right? So you're sending your Pulse Dogecoin to create ASIC. ASIC is then used in a 30-day period where you turn it on. So you turn the miner on and it's mining for 30 days and it's mining Pulse Bitcoin. But you can also have a digital representation of this ASIC miner in the form of an NFT. It's gibberish. It's gibberish to you? Gibberish? Okay, so I wouldn't agree with that it's gibberish, but I would agree that it's complex. Just as a heads up, I've done both routes. I've swapped out USDT for ASIC, and I've turned my miner on, I think. Yeah. My miner's running right now. And I have... How did I do that, though? I'll bring it up. At some point, I'll bring up my... the D app with my information in it. But I have... How did I get the ATM? I think I must have already had some USDT or something. Yeah. Yeah, I must have. I must have done that twice. It's been. I did it in 2 different days in 2 different hits over 4 different days, over 4 days. Yeah, I'm a little confused as to what I've got now. I've got an ATM and I've got ASIC. Pretty certain, anyway. We'll check it.
All right, in the form of an NFT. The difference is that you're not allowed to mint those for the first 30 days. So the Pulse Doge community that actually burns their Pulse Doge will have a 30-day head start.
Yep.
So
if you burn your Pulse Doge, you get the advantage of getting first in, first dibs, better results. But you get rid of your Pulse Doge. And like I said, that thing's worth $2,200 for me right now. And that's only 265 of them. So it could be worth a hell of a lot more if you got a lot more in your bag.
31, you can take your NFT, mint it, get ASIC tokens, and away you go. You're in the game. And then it's a race to the 10,000 or 10,500,000.
So ASIC, so the ASIC you can use to stake for Pulse Bitcoin. And after 30 days, every stake is 30 days. Is that accurate?
Correct.
So
when he says stake, he probably should say, I don't know, mining job, like, because you're not staking, you're turning the miner on, and then he'll explain in a moment. But then you've also got to turn the miner off, and if you don't turn it off, you fuck up. And if someone turns it off for you, they gain your rewards. So what this does, and this is what I want to do, every 30 days from Genesis, which I'm already 4 days behind, so for me it'll be day 34, but every 30 days, I want to come in and check for miners that are overrunning, and he'll tell you it's called good accounting. You'll run this good accounting function. You pay the gas fee for it, and then you get their rewards. So it's like, don't just turn the miner on and go to Vanuatu for 7 years and think you're going to cash. You lose it all. You got to be involved. So this is encouraging community to stay focused and stay with it. I like that about it because I'm interested in this stuff, and if it means putting a calendar appointment reminder to check it out on day 29 and keep an eye on the blockchain, I'll do it. We'll do it here.
At the 30-day mark, somebody could take their ASIC tokens and their Pulse BTC, and they could convert those ASICs into an ATM, which is an NFT.
Yeah,
is that accurate?
He's doing it backwards.
So here's the deal. For the first 60 days after launch, which is today, you can take your Pulse Dogecoin and convert them, transform them into ASIC tokens. That's path A. Path B is you can take Hex, Hedron, Icosa, and I believe USDC and acquire an NFT with that. And those NFTs, each dollar.
Yo, Star Seed me with the follow. Yo, Starskis, thanks for following the Gives a Minute D live stream. Now this makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute D live stream. Thanks for the follow, Star Seed me. Now, let me just ask, did you come across from somewhere else, Star Seed me? I've been trying to promote this URL to get everybody to come over here. If they're watching, like, you could be watching this stream anywhere, Twitter, LinkedIn, Twitch, Trovo, YouTube, Facebooks, and you might be watching thinking, dude, I want to really help this guy because he's missing all the points, and you're chatting on those platforms. If you are, I'm not seeing it. I'm only seeing the one chat. It's this D Live chat right here, and I see Starseed me. Oh, he says he did come in from there. So thank you, Starseed me. Let me ask you a secondary question. Are you familiar with Pulse Bitcoin, and do you have contributions you want to make? Are we along the right tracks here? Are we getting this right? I feel like Jim Rat Crypto does a great job to start with, or to start and finish with, but if we can add a little bit to it as well, it's basically going to put this out. It's going to put this out to more people and hopefully gets more involvement. No, I'm new and I'm learning. Well, man, I really appreciate you coming in. Can I just, for my own research reasons, can I just ask which platform you did come in from? I'm not going to write it down. I don't have I was going to use this as a notebook pen and write. I'm not keeping tabs, but I'm just curious. Which platform were you watching on? And thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate you. So we'll continue to watch and we'll continue to learn. And anybody else that wants to follow along, the URL, I did it pretty obviously, dlive.tv/givesaminute. I'll put it nice and black so you can see it very clearly, dlive.tv/givesaminute. That's where you can find me out. That's where you can find me at, I beg your pardon. Let's continue with the learn.
Is equal to 1 ASIC. And that's...
Now we should just go back a bit. You're on the DLive app. Oh, you're watching on the app. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. So you weren't watching on another platform. That's cool. I appreciate the follow, man. Thanks.
And acquire an NFT with that. And those NFTs, each dollar...
Wait. We can't cut him off mid-sentence. It's too detailed.
B is...
This is...
into ASIC tokens.
So what he just said was path A is to convert your Pulse Dogecoin into ASIC token for the first 60 days. So this is a time limited thing too. We're now day 6, I think. So you've got a small amount of time left to do this. Look at Jim Rat Crypto's, how I paused him there. Yeah, that's when you path A, and he's about to explain path B here.
That's path A. Path B is you can take Hex, Hedron, Icosa, and I believe USDC, and acquire an NFT with that. And those NFTs, each dollar is equal to 1 ASIC. And that's in the form of an NFT that you cannot begin minting with until day 31. All right.
So you take path A, you acquire ASIC immediately from your conversion of Pulse Dogecoin, and you can start mining Pulse Bitcoin right away. You take path B and you use any of those other currencies he mentioned, including USDT, because I did it with Tether, and you convert the Tether to an ATM. You can only convert the ATM to ASIC after day 30.
Right. And anytime thereafter, up until halvening event number 32. But what happens is that the multiplier goes up by 1 every period, but your rate of Pulse Bitcoin gets halved every.
Are you understanding that? You don't have to convert the NFT into an ASIC miner on day 30. In fact, there's game theory for you not to do that and wait for these halvening periods. At that point, you get a better rate from the ATM to the ASIC, so you get more ASIC token, but you also, the ASIC token doesn't mine as much Bitcoin, Pulse Bitcoin. So mining at the very start is the most profitable. This is the point that they're making here. If I understand correctly, the point that they're making is mining Pulse Bitcoin up front from day 1 is the way you're going to achieve most Pulse Bitcoin. The other ways, it's going to dilute your potentials, but you got to weigh up which one works for you. Now, originally I did buy an ATM. I'm going to check it, but I think I've only got one. But that wouldn't make sense because I wouldn't have just done one tether. I can't remember. We'll look into it, but I can't remember what I did exactly. But then, just the other night, I converted that $500 worth of Monero into ASIC and started mining. Because I watched this about 2 days ago and I was like, shit, it's day 4 already? I got to get in there. So I had a little FOMO. Little FOMO enough to think, how can I get some money together? All right, XMR, Monero, you're out of there. Get him out of there. And I'm mining. So I'll show you that later.
Period. So you can send ASICs out into the future if you'd like. But the best way to do it is just to take your Pulse Dogecoin and get 5 for 1 on your ASIC. And
don't forget, if you burn your Pulse Dogecoin, you never get it back. And like I said, I've got 265 of those, and it's currently at $2,200 and climbing.
Begin minting immediately.
You had mentioned 60 days. So you could only mint ASICs for the next 60 days. Is that what you were saying?
Correct.
Starseed says, my son trades. I'm learning how to use digital portal in different coins. Okay. So stock market trading. Okay. This is a sort of the same, but different. Look at this Jim Rat Crypto. Whenever we pause it, look at the facial expressions he's got. It's like you said, what?
Okay.
Now you can buy ASIC probably tomorrow at spot on market, right? Through Uniswap. You can certainly do that, but who knows what the premium is going to be.
Jim Rat, don't worry if you don't have PLSD. You can still buy ASIC, but you got to wait 30 days.
Yeah, this comments that are coming up, or the chats on their screen. So Jim Rat Crypto, which is this gentleman up here, he was quite vocal at the launch of Pulse Dogecoin that he was getting rid of his. He sold that shit. I think when it was at like $2 or something. It's now trading at $8. So he sold it all. He got out. So I think there's a little bit of regret there. And I'm going to go out on a ledge and say that I think people that have converted Pulse Dogecoin for ASIC, like all their stack, are going to regret that. That's my take on it. Because like scarcity, like burning, you never get it back. There's less to play with at that point. So the meme coin has existed. The Pulse Doge meme coin has existed already for, I guess, about 8 months now. Pretty solid on its own without like just existing and increasing in price. Now there's this play to burn more of it and therefore increase the value of it. Those people that do that based upon what PulseBitcoin will be worth, it's kind of like and this is why I say cryptocurrency is like gambling, because you're gambling on the fact that one of those tokens is going to outweigh the other. One of them's going to be a higher value than the other. In an ideal world, you'd have equal of both. And in this instance, getting Pulse Dogecoin for free, just being a hex staker, this is why I said this before, like to get involved in this, you didn't have to actually do anything. You just have to have a little Ethereum in your gas so you can pay for these transactions. And sometimes it's a bit expensive, but you don't actually have to do anything. You got given Pulse Dogecoin for free. That's the beauty of it, I think. In the UK, they plan to reset the money system to digital portal. Yes, they do. I've heard all about the US or the central bank digital currency. Yeah. Hey, Redco's in the house. Hello, Gibbs. How you going, Redco? Good to see you. Hello, Skins. The exit fees too. Exactly right. You've got to you got to keep a little stack of Ethereum for sure.
No, tomorrow he'll be able to buy.
No, I think you might be talking about like LP, like just not a short way of saying like the liquidity won't be ripe.
Well, what he's really getting at is the NFT, where in 31 days you can mint the NFT and then get your ASIC tokens and then begin minting for PulseBitcoin.
So what does the NFT do?
So the NFT basically allows you to redeem for ASIC tokens in the future at any point in time up until the end of the halvening periods, which are dynamically timed depending on how much PulseBitcoin is mined.
So somebody gets an NFT and then you said they can pick any date into the future, and what rate are they going to be getting ASIC at?
Well, it depends what halvening period they redeem it in.
So it's not based on the time, it's based on the halvening period, because the halvening period is flexible. So it's right. Okay.
These questions that Sam Stoltz asking, like every time he asks a question, that's pretty much what's going through my head. And I'm not trying to compare myself to him or say I'm equally as smart as him, but the same line of questioning, when I first watched this, I was like, yeah, that's what I would have asked. I would have asked it right then.
So how does that work? So if somebody's like, hey, I'm going to pick the second halvening period for this NFT to start minting me ASIC.
And the reason they do that, pick the second halvening, is that they end up with a better return from the ASIC token, but the mining percentage rate's gone down at that point. So you got this chart that on the one hand, as time goes by, your returns, if you hold the ATM NFT and you don't convert it to the ASIC miner, the longer you hold it, the more ASIC miner token you get. But as you do that, the percentage that the miner can generate Pulse Bitcoin is going down. So you got this ultimate mind fuck where you're like, well, what do I do here? Do I do it immediately? Do I mint the ATM and tokenize it immediately after the 31 days and get the better rate because then you turn that miner on and you start earning Pulse Bitcoin and you're earning the bigger percentage? Or do you hold on to that ATM until 32 halvenings, which could be anywhere between now and like 9 to 10 years? So this is a long game, right? This is long. Think about the length of Bitcoin, how long it's been around. This is long term we're talking. And you hold that ATM and then you cash it out in 9 years' time and you get way more ASIC token, but turn the ASIC token on, the miner on, and you're earning less Bitcoin because you're now at year 9. So, and if I'm understanding anything from this stream, because I've watched it already once, the idea is to start mining ASAP. This ATM route and tokenizing the NFT might not be the best play because by then, when you come to use it, you're getting such a poor hash rate. A lot of it's math, right? And I'm terrible at maths, but I get the concept, but I just, like if you said, can you just explain that again and do the math? I'll be like, hell no, I can't do that. Just take someone's word for it, not my word, take their word for it. But that's what the idea is. And that's the game, that's the game theory. And that's why kind of like cryptocurrency, right? It's something that it's smart. It's very smart. And you need to make decisions that you're comfortable with. You might say, well, then why do they put the ATM function in there? Like if it's going to fuck people up, why put it in there? It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe they're a little sadistic, these devs. I don't know, dudes. But it is a little bit like, yeah, if that doesn't work for anyone's favor, why would they have that feature in there? Got to have yin and yang, don't you? You can't all just have bright sunny days and lollipops. It's got to be a little bit of rain and depression. Redox, I don't get Pulse Chain. No, well, there's nothing to get yet. It's not even here. All cryptos went up today. Shocked, dude. It's on a bit of a tear right now, isn't it? In fact, my Delta app wasn't working. I tried to refresh it and see the gains, and it just said, "Oh, Houston, we have a problem." So is everything going up and the apps can't handle it? I don't know, dudes. Got to get this haircut done soon.
How does that work exactly?
So they would then get 2 ASICs per dollar value, but their rate of mining Pulse Bitcoin goes down from 7.5% to 3.75%.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. So it's just another way to get ASICs, basically.
Yeah, but you can only acquire the NFTs during the first 30 days.
Did you get that? So you can only do the ATM feature for the first 30 days. Once you've got the ATM, you can hold it for 9, 10 years, but you'll only ever have the ability to grab that NFT up until another, what is it now? Another 32 days, 34 days. No, sorry. He said 30 days. So another 24 days. So I think we're day 6 now. Crypto is just following the stock market. I reckon there's still a big crash coming. I'd say we've already had the crash, wouldn't we? Wouldn't 18K be the crash, Redox?
All right. So beginning today, for the next 30 days, you can acquire the NFTs, or you can take your Pulse Bitcoin and simply acquire the ASICs that way in a 5-for-1 ratio.
Real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to Life is Good. Thank you for the $50 super chat. I really appreciate that. It seems like you're a supporter of this community. And he even said right here below that I said, can I get Hex info on later? Because guys, if you guys can line me up a killer show, I will cover this all the way up to launch, and I will help you guys out by, trying to be as thorough with it as I have a few hours too. So like I can totally figure all of this stuff out. And get a little something going before launch. You can get me someone on that I can make sure that can answer all my questions. Obviously, we're going to go through way more now, and I'm learning, but it takes me a couple times.
So you have Pulse Doge. You can get these ASICs. You can sacrifice effectively to get a ASIC as well, using USD, Hex, Hedron, or ICOSA, where the dollar amount, you're basically paying $1 per NFT, correct?
Per ASIC. So your NFT can be as many ASIC as you want, which brings about the notion of viral adoption.
Ooh, interesting. Rob Mack, Bitcoin is up 5%, ETH up 10. Ooh. And what's Gwei right now? Can you just do a quick search for what Gwei is?
Go ahead and talk about what you mean by that.
So let's say that there's a whale sitting out there and he wants to roll 500,000 into PulseBitcoin. And maybe there's not enough Pulse Dogecoin to make that trade because of slippage and so forth. He could just simply acquire $500,000 worth of an NFT and get 500,000 ASICs and then roll them out into the future anytime he wants. So that's just another way of bringing people into the community.
So that's why they did the NFT. More adoption.
What's the benefit? You mean like that's for anybody who believes that like that is going to be worthwhile more in the future, right? Like to take 500,000 and put it into getting the ASICs, right? What about like Pulse BTC? Is there what's the like? Why would people want to hold that?
What token? Oh no, Gwei, the Gwei price, to transact on Ethereum. I've got to put my AC. My AC is not hitting my face for some reason. It's coming out of the thing, but it's not hitting me on my face. I get hot with these Kansas on, like, and I got all this hair up here, and my face is all getting red. That's a little better. Maybe I could crank up the guts of the AC. It's doing something anyway. All right.
Great question. So it is anticipated that total supply will be 21 million. We have no idea how long it'll take to get there.
Ooh, so that's total supply of Pulse Bitcoin will be 21 mil, just like Bitcoin. I heard C. Yeah, I heard C. I don't know what that means, Starseed.
But it's 32 halvening events. So if you figure maybe every 6 months, all right, what are you talking about? 16 years worth of minting this stuff. And then it's hard capped. That's it. It is a little bit deflationary because there's a penalty if you don't end your mint in a timely manner, kind of like with Jack, right? And Zen. So you've got this 30-day mint or stake that goes on, and you then have 30 days to end that mint. If you don't end that mint, here comes another hex feature, right? Anyone in the community can publicly bring that stake into good accounting. All the Pulse Bitcoin gets burned. Half of the ACE.
All the Pulse Bitcoin gets burned. Interesting. I heard market reset, mistypo. Okay, no worries. Interesting. I didn't know that if you didn't turn your miner off and someone good accounts you, the Pulse Bitcoin gets burnt. I thought it went to the accountant. Let me just hear that again.
And here comes another hex feature, right? Anyone in the community can publicly bring that stake into good accounting. All the Pulse Bitcoin gets burned.
Shit.
Half of the ASIC goes to the original initiator of the stake, and the other half goes to the guy who ponied up for the good accounting.
Okay. So you don't earn the reward that they would have earned. You earn half of their miner. So putting it in real world perspectives, if you leave your miner on, someone can walk into your mining farm and just take half of your gear, half of your hardware. Okay, so don't leave your miners on. You got 30 days to mine this, and then you got to switch it off and switch it back on again. Have you tried switching it on and off again? Interesting. And by the way, that burning of that Pulse Bitcoin from the 21 mil hard cap, what does that do? That's pressure on price, right? Price goes up when there's less of. Pepe is smart, but what is his role? Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know what his connection to this is, to be honest. I thought he was a dev, but he talks about Hex Info, who's the guy behind it, and that's not him. Yeah, good question. What is his role? Can you search him up? His real name is on the screen, Pepe Gringuto Gordon. I'll type it in the chat here. His real name is Pepe Gringuto Gordo. Yeah, I spelled it right. That's his real name. Yeah, good question though.
It's a beautiful system.
It's a beautiful system.
Yeah, it's a lot, but luckily I've been used to like doing this over the last couple like months, so it's not something that I'm worried about long term. But it is interesting. Will this be on ETHW and or ETHF?
Interesting question. He's an admin of Pulse Chain Telegram. Oh, really? I'm in that Pulse in that Telegram, but I don't chat at all. In fact, I just go in daily and hit that little star at the bottom, and it goes down 4,000 new comments to the very bottom, and I just look to see if Pulse Chain's been announced yet. I'm not. There's been so much talk about it. I just don't bother following it anymore until because don't forget, as soon as Richard makes the announcement of the potential block height when it's going to launch, go and cash in your weight tokens, right? You know about weight. Do you want to just pause for a second? Do you guys know about weight token? Someone has tokenized the time that we're in right now. You guys before said, I don't understand Pulse Chain. Redox, you don't get it because it's not here yet. And Rob Mack also said Pulse Chain was supposed to launch a year ago. It's not here yet. We've all been waiting for it. Someone made a token based upon that weight. So if you I guess I'm assuming you got to be a Hex staker again. If you've staked Hex and you're waiting for Pulse Chain at any point from now, and this has gone on now for like 8-10 months, you can claim this token. You can just claim it for free based upon your Hex stakes, and you get it, and then you can just sell it out and be done. Again, it's literally free money. But the catch is, the longer you're willing to wait, the more weight tokens you get. But the second Pulse Chain launches, weight token, you won't get anything. So people are like, oh, let's claim our weight tokens now. But the thing is, and as we've been proven in the last year and a half or whatever, Pulse Chain's taking a long time. It hasn't quite gone to schedule, didn't beat Ethereum 2 to market. It's not the world's largest airdrop. All these things have changed now. It's now forking Ethereum 2.0. So this could be another 6 months from now until we get Pulse Chain. So the idea is keep an eye on the socials. Follow Richard Hart on Twitter. Follow all the hexagons you can find. Keep an eye on that Telegram that Pepe is the admin of, apparently. And just keep going in there daily and just see if there, because Richard has said a few times that he will announce a time frame when Pulse Chain will launch, not 2 weeks or whatever. He'll be like, oh, we're going to be launching in the next 24 hours or whatever. And at that point, you must go and claim your weight tokens if you're a Hex staker. Again, all this stuff comes for free to those that are of the staker class, which is what I am and what you could be and what some of you are. I believe some of you went in and did some Hex staking back when I got introduced to it about a year and a half ago now. So yeah, get your free tokens. They're literally free. By the way, another free token. It's called Texas token. Who gets it? Can you believe it? Hex stakers. Go now and see if your Metamask wallet is eligible to claim Texas token when it launches on Pulse Chain. You get 1 million of them, I believe. 1.5 million? 1 million. Free tokens. The value of? Who knows? But it's free. Like I said, Pulse Dogecoin. When I read about Pulse Dogecoin on Twitter, I was like, really? A meme coin based upon a fluffy dog and Pulse Chain? It's like, yeah, we're going to give it to you for free if you're a staker. Ah, okay, cool, no worries. What have I got to do? Just claim it? Yeah, cool. No worries. I'll wait. Do it on day one. Claimed it, put it in my wallet, added it to my crypto portfolio, watched it, kept watching it. It's now worth $2,000, $2,200. Pretty cool, right? Free coins. Shyla Rose in the house. Hey, Ben, hey all. How you doing, Shyla? We're in the depths of a dirty, dark dialogue on cryptocurrency. If you're confused by crypto, you're curious about crypto, or you're considering crypto, this stream might not be the one for you, because we are looking specifically at a coin. It's very tricky. It's very cumbersome. There's a lot of different moving parts to it, but we are enjoying it. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the learn. My brain is a little... I always get... What are we in, about an hour? Yeah, about an hour into these cryptocurrency streams, I start to feel my head going, dude, it's not high school, but it feels like high school again. I sold my Pulse Doge. Redco. Okay, fair enough, man. Fair enough. People did. I didn't. I have 265 of them. It's now worth $2,200. I think it's trading for about $8.60 at the moment. If you didn't sell your Pulse Dogecoin, you could now dump them, burn them, transform them into ASIC miners to mine Pulse Bitcoin. We've hit that a bunch of times, but yeah. Oh, and in other news, because Charlotte's here, just for those regulars on the channel, the Karen's Diner stream that Charlotte has suggested we do and paid for is going to be not this Friday, but next Friday. I've already cleared it with Karen's Diner. They're happy for me to come up there and IRL stream an entire evening dining in their lovely diner and getting abused. So if you're interested in seeing this thing, it's all the rage right now. It's a diner in Australia that they abuse you. They literally call you fat cunt and you prick, sit down and shut the fuck up. Come and get your stupid order. Enjoy your food, you fuckwit. That kind of stuff. So I'm all about it. It's going to be fun. We're going to IRL live stream it. It's not this Friday, so it's not 2 days away, but it's the following Friday. Because I got to do an IRL stream. I'm going to do probably drinks at Crookies this Friday, because I haven't done an IRL since I've been back. I got to get my old Bic pick out and set it all up. Yeah, so that's happening. But let's keep going. And I understand. Charlotte, you might want to bump out now again. Thanks for coming in. But we are deep in this crypto thing on a Wednesday. I get that it's not for everybody. Like, I understand that not everyone's here for crypto, but just once a week, I frizzle fry my brain on this stuff. And yeah, if you're interested in it, by the way, another little reminder, if you're interested in it and you're watching this on any other platform, that's the URL. If you listen carefully, that translates to dlive.tv/givesAminute. That's the URL you got to be at if you want to be in this chat. This is the only chat we're talking on. Well, you might be talking on other ones, but I'm not seeing it. So here it is. Come on down. I'd love to have you. Love you to learn. Love you to be here with me. Peter BBT went in the post today too. Oh, Charlotte, thank you. Cheerses. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That's the URL on screen there. Let's get that off. Oh, that's too dark, dude. Come on, let's go over here and let's continue learning.
Thank you for the super chat, Fast Abdel.
Yeah. As of right now, there has been no determination made on that. So I would think that possibly in the future, but a decision's not been made. What we do know is, obviously, since it's all ERC-20 stuff, everything is going to be duplicated on the Pulse chain.
Interesting. So what was the rationale for people wanting to hold, you believe, or what might be the reason why people would want to hold the Pulse Bitcoin?
Well, it's a tremendous store of value, right? In other words, think back to the beginning when Satoshi was sitting there mining Bitcoin on his, laptop and getting 50 BTC rewards per block every 10 minutes, right? This is the exact same thing. Get in early, get that maximum rate of appreciation, which is 7.5%, because every halvening it's going to go down, go down, go down.
So you got to get in early. I'm hearing that loud and clear. I'm not hearing my AC. You guys can't hear my AC, can you? The hum? I don't think you can. Doesn't matter. It's not really working that well, though.
So every halvening is basically going to be a price appreciation booster. Now, here's the fourth token. this is perhaps another reason to hold Pulse Bitcoin. And it is that the fourth token, which we don't have any information on other than the name at this point, but it is coming, is Pulse Litecoin. Now let's tie it all back together. Dogecoin
Pulse Litecoin
was a fork of Lucky Coin, which was a fork of Litecoin.
Can't hear it. Thank you, Hendrik. Thank you, man. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. I'm gonna crank it right up then. Haven't been on for 6 months. Maybe it's got dust in the cobwebs in the coils and shit.
So you see where Hexinfo is going with all this. Mm-hmm. This is how a genius's mind works. Everything's being tied together.
This is interesting. What are you personally most excited about?
I'm going to take 95% of my Pulse Dogecoin bag today, and I'm going to burn it for ASIC tokens. Because here's the financial example. If you take 1,000 Pulse Dogecoin and get 5,000 ASIC for it, and
because it's 1 to 5, don't forget that 1 Pulse Dogecoin gets you 5 ASICs.
You mint that at a rate of 7.5%. That then gives you 375 Pulse Bitcoin at the end of a month. That 375, if market value is $20, that's $7,500, Sam. That's beautiful.
It could be 20.
Yeah, good point, Sam. Let's go back and just hear that math again. Just hear this math.
The financial example. If you take 1,000 Pulse Dogecoin and get 5.
So I didn't have that much.
Example. If you take 1,000 Pulse Dogecoin and get 5,000 ASIC for it, and you mint that at a rate of 7.5%, that then gives you 375 Pulse Bitcoin at the end of a month. That 375, if market value is $20, that's $7,500, Sam.
That's $7,000 for 1 month of mining. That's if you've got 1,000 Pulse Dogecoin to convert. I had 265, and I'm not converting any of them. I want to see how much ASIC I've got. You know what we should do? Let's while we're doing this, let's bring it up. Let's get out of there. Let me just bring up the Brave browser because I want to see. Brave browser. Oh, it's already open here. I want to see, and I'll share this with you Yahoos as well. I guess we'll just go back over here. So this is the browser Brave. Is my Ethereum, is my Metamask wallet connected? Yes, it is. So we go to Pulse Bitcoin. It'll tell me the wallet's not connected, but yes, it is. Now, can you see that? Make it larger here. So I've got no ASIC token because I'm mining. So I've clicked this mine button here. So I've got one miner and I've been mining for 1 day. So 29 days remaining of a 30-day period. And my miner, okay, so I've got 310 ASIC. So my miner size so this is probably good for math, right? And for finance. So I put in $500 worth. So the Monero that I converted. Hey Redox, you remember when we bought Monero? I think it was you that might have said you should get some of this Monero because it's a privacy coin. Well, I did have it and now I don't. So I put in 3.7 Monero to about 500 USDT. Oh, I also took out, yeah, you would have seen this here. Yeah, look, my Brave rewards are at 0. I also bumped my BAT into about $30 worth of USDT as well. So I got about $530 worth of USDT and I bought ASIC. That got me a total of 310 ASIC and I am currently sitting at 23 Pulse Bitcoins. That's what at the end of the month, if everything stayed as it was right now, I'd be able to withdraw. Well, what's 23 by Where's the calculator? Assuming everything goes the same as it is now, 23 by 30. Or by 29. It's already a day. So I'll be coming out with 667 Pulse Dogecoin. Now, on that theory of it being worth $20, which it won't be, that can't be right. That's not right. Did I do that wrong? 600. Let's just call it 600 Pulse Bitcoins at $20 a coin. That's right. That can't be right. That's too much money. How long have you been mining? 1 day. It says here days remaining 29. So it's a 30-day mining block. So I'm 3% in. And there's a mining fee. It's going to be this much ASIC. 0.777 of one ASIC. That's my miner ID, 4023. So start miner at 25th. It's the 26th today. My miner size 310. My mining rewards thus far 23. Now let's keep an eye on. Yeah, I started on day 4, so the Genesis day was day 1. So it's easy to learn. Yeah. And this is how we can learn together, right? By looking at this, by watching this, how this all works. So that's the miner. But if you go back to the ASIC token miner, this is the ATM. If we scroll down, I did this. So I've got 99 ATM points, which is 1-to-1. So I'll have 99 ASICs once this comes out. So I can't recall even doing this. What's the transaction ID here? Did I convert USDT or something? I transferred. Mint. I must have had some other USDT in my wallet that I forgot about, and I claimed an ATM. So this is an NFT which will, after 30 days, I can choose to claim this as the NFT, as the ASIC. So convert the NFT to the ASIC, and then that'll give me an ASIC number down here. Looks like it's going to be this 99. So another 100 of them basically, and then if I come back to the miner tab, I can add this miner. I can add 100 ASIC to this mine, and then on the next mining cycle, or I could probably do another mine. I probably should just start another one. Start another mine. So I'll have 2 miners. I'll have one with 310 ASIC, and I'll have one with 100 ASIC, and I'll be getting approximately 23 pulse Bitcoin a day. Probably, well, now that I've got the 2, or when I have the 2, I'll probably have around about 30, just less than 30 a day. Just remembering that if this was Bitcoin and you were mining 30 Bitcoins a day at the Genesis time, giddy up, right? You know what happens in the future. We don't know what's going to happen in the future though here. Interesting here, it says that I've got 265 Pulse Doge, which I do have in my Metamask wallet, and they're not going anywhere. Where are they? They're not going anywhere because they're currently sitting at $2,425 US. So I'm not burning my Pulse Dogecoin for a miner when I'm pretty happy that I've got 23 Pulse Bitcoins coming to me per day. Considering if these two play off each other, considering 265 Pulse Dogecoins, and I'm not getting any, oh shit, I don't want to do that. And I'm not getting any more Pulse Dogecoins, but they're worth 2,400. What would 265 Pulse Bitcoins be worth? And see how many I'm getting per day, 23. So this is why I'm doing this with you guys, to sort of, well, for a lot of it's for me to grasp as well, but it's also for you guys to say, well, okay, well, how can I get some Pulse Dogecoin? How can I get some ASIC? You can go ahead and convert some of these tokens, USDT, USDC, Hex, Icosa, Hedron. You can convert those across, or you can go and buy Pulse Dogecoin. You're paying a premium though. It's like $8, must be $8.50 now or something. Let's continue on though and hear the lessons.
That's beautiful.
It could be 20 cents too, right?
Oh, well, so that was him doing that moon math, and then Sam Stolt comes in and says, "Yeah, but it could be worth 20 cents," which is fair.
That 375, if market value is $20, that's $7,500, Sam.
Oh, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to see how many he came out with. How much Pulse Dogecoin did he come out with?
7.5%. That then gives you 375 Pulse Bitcoin at the end of a month.
Have I done my math wrong then? If he's getting 375 at the end of the month, and I'm getting, is this the not the daily amount? This could be the total amount at the end. That would make more sense. That's not the daily amount. That's the total I'm going to be receiving. I guess I could check that by coming in tomorrow and seeing if that's increased. To that note, I'll get a screenshot of this and check, but I imagine that this amount would be my final amount at the end of the month, not a daily amount, given the math that he's just rattled off here to get to 300 at the end of the month.
That 375, if market value is $20, that's $7,500, Sam. That's beautiful.
It could be 20 cents too, right?
Well, okay, I could be wrong. How wrong do you want me to be? But I happen to know who the liquidity pool providers are, and I pretty much know where they're going to start, and it's not going to be at 20 cents. Now, it could also just as easy.
What? I missed that the first time around. So he knows who's going to be providing the liquidity. So he knows who's going to be selling and dumping it. So he's saying he knows what the price will be after that first 30-day period, and he's suggesting it's going to be around $20. You hear that?
Well, it could be 20 cents too, right?
Well, okay, I could be wrong. How wrong do you want me to be? But I happen to know who the liquidity pool providers are, and I pretty much know where they're going to start, and it's not going to be at 20 cents. Now, it could also just as easily be $100 because you're talking about ultra scarcity. So no one has a crystal ball. No one knows how much it's going to be worth. But in time, Pulse Bitcoin will be very valuable and likely a multiple of Pulse Dogecoin.
Does the
a multiple of Pulse Dogecoin? Shit. By 2? By 10? By 100? Get the hell out of here. Either way, folks, we're here at the Genesis, like day 4, or what is it? Day 6 now? What is it? Where did it say days? Oh shit. ASIC token, it was down here, wasn't it? No, where is it? It's on this column across, isn't it? Yeah, day started. Oh no, sorry, that's the day I started, day 4. So it'd be day 6 now. Pretty nicely, it's nicely laid out too, this Pulse Bitcoin website. Do you know what I'll do? I'll give you guys the URL, so you might want to go ahead and get that going yourself if you want. Here's the URL skis. PulseBitcoin.app if you're listening in the car or something.
The ASIC, so you wait 30 days to mint your stuff, and then your Pulse Bitcoin, and then you restake that, or is that how it works, or does the ASICs go away?
No, you own those ASICs forever. There is a tiny little mining fee. The first halving or the pre-halving event is 1/4 of a point. So that's which gets burned. That's the burn fee. And then the next halving period, it's 1/8 of a point, and it goes down from there. Right. But yeah, those ASIC miners.
So your miner depreciates over time, just like hardware would.
Sam, they've been digging for 30 days in the salt mines with their bare hands, right? Let's give them some fresh Levi Strauss. Let's give them a shower, feed them, and then send them right back into the mines.
So you end a stake, and then people presumably would just restake that.
Correct. Yeah. Perpetual money printer. That's what.
That's what was the point I was going to get to. So if that's like, when I think about people who want to make money, right? So I want the thing that's going to produce the cash. I don't really want the cash, right? Like, we don't really care about the cash piece of it. We want the thing that's going to produce the cash, because that's the valuable thing. So I'm like, okay, cool. ASIC is, this is the first time I'm hearing about all the pieces, right? Just first rip, I'm like, okay, the ASIC, cool, then I can just dump that, the Bitcoin Pulse, the Pulse Bitcoin, and just buy more ASICs because that's the valuable piece. And I can just every month just dump the Pulse Bitcoin, right? Because
wow, he's going to get rid of his mined Bitcoin to get more ASICs? I mean, that's one way to do it, I suppose.
The thing that's valuable is the thing that produces the cash, not the actual cash. Cash is right? So
it's
cash
the nuclear generator of yield. That's what gives you your Pulse Bitcoin. Those are the ASIC tokens. The name of the game is to get as many of those suckers as you can get your hands on.
The name of the game is to get as many ASIC tokens as possible.
So, but then that's why I was like, why would anybody hold Pulse Bitcoin, right? Because if I'm going to do this, right? So say Pulse Bitcoin, hypothetically, there's people that are manipulating it to get to $20, right? Cool, get that, right? So then you get $7,500. Okay, let me dump my $7,500 and translate that to as much ASICs as possible, right? Which is going to drive the price down because I'm not going to be the only person who's thinking about this. And then I'm going to take those ASICs, and the following month, right? It's like a dividend-paying stock. It's like a rental property, right? The rental property is the ASIC, right? So the ASIC is printing me money, and I can use the cash to live on when it's not going to affect my investment.
I think
interesting. I hadn't thought of it like that. Redco, it's like Bitcoin miners like to dump to buy more miners. This is exactly what he's saying. Yeah, I mean that could be a way to become a whale, right? Like in my case, yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, would you dump 100% of your Pulse Bitcoin, or like 85 or 75 or a half, like 50%? I don't know, like, yeah, I'm glad I'm listening to this again because I didn't hear him say that, or I heard it, but I didn't quite register. But so you do all this, and you get $7,500 in theory, and you can be happy with that, or you can take that $7,500 and buy more ASIC tokens to mine more Bitcoin, and you're perpetually adding on to the top each time, and so the $7,500 becomes, you've doubled it at that point. Is this what I understand? This is how you generate like wealth, right? Generate the wealth of a whale. If you need money, you can take off a percentage of it and just put a third of it back in, or 2/3 of it back in. I mean, now that I'm hearing it, I think that's what I'm probably going to do, right? You want more ASICs.
I think it's just the scarcity aspect. The scarcity aspect for the one would be just like the reason to hold it, because just like PLSD says, if 50% gets burnt, there's only 3 million. I think that would be like, and then the halvening for the other thing would be like the thing that would make you want to keep on to it, because you'll never get that rate again once that clicks over.
Right. Well, and there's one more facet too. Pulse Litecoin will be the staking reward for Pulse Bitcoin. So either you're
Whoa. Pulse Litecoin, another coin, will be the reward for staking Pulse Bitcoin. So this is another smart contract. This isn't playing into this existing contract, because Pulse Litecoin doesn't exist yet. So you're going to get the opportunity to stake your mined Pulse Bitcoin and receive Pulse Litecoin. Okay.
Right. Well, and there's one more facet too. Pulse Litecoin will be the staking reward for Pulse Bitcoin. So either you're going to put it back into the compounding engine, right? The compounding and the recompounding and the re-compounding every 30 days, or you take those Pulse Bitcoin and you simply put them into Pulse Litecoin and then get yield that way. So that's sort of the vortex of ROI and yield.
There's so many things here, right? Like, I told you this wasn't straightforward, but it is smart. Like, as this Pepe gentleman, what's his name, Gringuito, as he explains it, I'm like, dude, this is really well thought out. This is ingenious. And that's my mind understanding it, which is always struggling to kind of grasp this kind of stuff. I feel like crypto's made me smarter. I'm not. I mean, I'll still drink myself to oblivion and do stupid shit, but I feel like I've become smarter. I feel like it's kind of tripped my my brain that I haven't used since high school back into gear. It's kind of cool, actually.
So there's constantly just compounding going. And all three assets are going to work together to drive the price up because you've got scarcity. Pulse Dogecoin's going to 2 to 3 million in supply over 60 days. That's supply shock. So the law of supply and demand state that if you have a dwindling supply and constant demand to increasing demand, price goes up. We know that. ASIC tokens are always going to be in demand because it produces Pulse Bitcoin. Pulse Bitcoin is always going to be in demand because that's the ultimate store of value. And we know every halvening event is probably somewhere between 6 and 12 months. They're going to become even more valuable because your miners are less productive every halvening event. So it's a natural ratchet mechanism. Just take a look at how.
Okay, so with that in mind, using Sam Stoltz's analogy or concept of taking the Bitcoin that you mine and dumping it all back into ASIC before the first halvening, that would be the smart move, right? Up until that halvening point where you've gone from 7.75% or 7.5% down to 3% return, you'd be better off burning your Pulse Bitcoin and remining it until that halvening point. For sure. Because you're still getting the same rate, but you've got more ASICs burning. You've got more miners burning. Definitely up until the first halvening, which could happen within the first 6 months. Interesting. Did you just get that shit again?
Is always going to be in demand because that's the ultimate store of value. And we know every halvening event is probably somewhere between 6 and 12 months. They're going to become even more valuable because your miners are less productive every halvening event.
So your miners become less productive with each halvening. So in the first instance, which is now day 6, all the way through until that first halvening, the most productive your miner can be is what it is now. It'll never be as productive. So you want as much ASIC as you can in this first point. And that's why the moment my ATM, the NFT, is available to redeem for ASIC, dude, that was right on the cue. Did you guys feel that? That was bizarre. I'm gonna mint that NFT into an ASIC miner as soon as possible because of that halvening that's going to come up in terms of productivity for the miner. Yeah, this is smart. Hey, this is real smart.
So it's a natural ratchet mechanism. Just take a look at how the mechanic works with Bitcoin. Every halvening period, boom, that's the Genesis spark for the next bull run. It's going to be the same thing here, only you're not going to have to wait 4 years for it.
So the system ramps up quicker as if.
Is it the Litecoin halvening cycles? Same as the Litecoin halvening?
Yeah, we don't have information on that at this point.
Oh, okay.
What was the fee? How does that work that you mentioned for the halvening?
So there isn't a halvening fee. There is a fee to burn your Pulse Doge in the form of ASIC, and it's 1/4 of a point, all right, for the first period, and then it drops down to 1/8 of a point, and then 1/16 of a point, all right, and those ASICs get burned, right? It's not going in someone's wallet, and that's a way of creating deflationary environment around that token. Pulse Bitcoin, likewise, is deflationary. If someone is tardy on their unstaking for more than 30 days, they lose all their Pulse Bitcoin. That gets sent to an OXO address and is burned forever as well. All the Pulse Dogecoin that is transformed into ASIC is burned forever. So we've got this elegant deflationary environment going on with all three tokens. And it's all designed to optimize and max out ROI and yield.
So if somebody is submitting $1 of whatever coins whatever their prerogative is to get an ASIC, right? Whether it's Pulse Doge, Hex, Hedron, etc., right?
They do it with Pulse Doge.
You just said you can. You just said you can submit Pulse Doge to get 5 ASICs, correct?
Yeah, that way. But I thought you were talking about the NFT.
Oh no, right? Because the way to get the ASIC is either Pulse Doge or get the NFT and then have the NFT get you ASIC. Okay. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. I forgot what my point was on that, but this is very interesting. A lot of different moving pieces for this. A lot of different moving pieces around.
And I'm going to keep covering this over the next couple hours, guys, before launch. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to approach it yet because I got to kind of do some learning. But let's look at this. And Bullish, do you have anything you want to add to anything?
I don't remember what it was.
He's sick a little bit.
That quarter of a point. The quarter of a point. So can you explain that in more detail, like how that works? So somebody has, say, a Pulse Doge that's $1, and they submit it into this protocol to mint it to get ASIC tokens, right? And then so a 0.25% of the...
Correct. So you would be nicked 0.25% on your ASIC. So you'd have 99.75 ASIC
out of the 5, right? Each one of them would be nicked just a little bit. Is that accurate? Okay.
And that's per halvening period. So the next halvening period, it goes down a little bit, but it's always deflationary, which means that it's a tiny little lift, but it's a lift. It's not a headwind.
Okay.
Inflation. These things are deflating.
Okay, cool. This is interesting. All the different moving pieces. Those tend to be, not always, right? Oh, another question. All this is going to be immutable, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
No admin.
Awesome.
Yeah. In fact, we just got finished with the Surtech audit, and you can read it. It's on the main page under Learn.
Hey, Pablo. This is a hijacking your stream, my rules. How you doing, Pabs? This is a dirty deep dive into some hardcore crypto, man. There's a lot going on here. I cannot begin to No, you know what? I can. I will. I'll do this. I'm going to summarize super quickly what this is. It's a cryptocurrency. It's called PulseBitcoin. It's in its infancy. It's only been around for 6 days now. It's 26. Yeah, 6 days. It's in its gestation period. You can get it by mining it, but you don't need to have hardware to mine it. Instead, you need a token, which is a digital representation of a miner. It's called an ASIC, which is the same word that they use to describe the miners, but this is a something internet. I can't remember what he said. It's software. It's a software miner. Anybody can buy one by transforming Pulse Dogecoin, which you would have got for free if you're a hex staker. You can go 1 Pulse Dogecoin for 5 ASIC tokens. Then you can start mining Pulse Bitcoin immediately. Or you can mint an NFT in the first 30 days. And after day 31, you can redeem the NFT into an ASIC miner. That's how you can get it, if you want it. If you don't want it, you don't have to get it. As a hex staker, I'll take whatever comes my way and I'll learn about it. Because let me just tell you this, the Pulse Dogecoin, which they gave us for free about 8 months ago, we just checked mine, it's worth $2,400. Interesting concept, the devil is in the details, and that's what we're doing right now. We are digging deep. We're digging deep into the details here. We're watching a fabulous stream from Jim Rat Crypto. Crypto in the Morning is his show, and this is teaching us what we need to learn, or it's not teaching us what we need to learn, it's teaching us what we can. This is helping us learn the most we can about this coin, because I've already invested in it. So I did the investment without really understanding it. I kind of understood it, but yeah, I didn't. It's so complex that I was like, I don't really get it entirely. 2,400. Sweet. Yeah, I'll show you that, dude. Go back over here. Bring up the Brave browser. This is my MetaMask wallet here. And inside this, we see Pulse Dogecoin. 265 of them. It's worth $2,421 US. Now that token was quite literally given to me just because I've staked Hex. And the more you've staked, the bigger the Pulse Dogecoin you would have been given. And this is 8 months ago now. And I've just held it. People sold it. People sold it at $2, $3. It's now trading at $8. So I'm holding it. This new Pulse Bitcoin coin pops up. And they're like, well, how do you get Pulse Bitcoin? You can burn your Pulse Dogecoin, 1 for 5. What'll that do for the price of Pulse Dogecoin? Up and up and up, which it has been doing for 6 days. It's gone up since this launched. Go and check the chart. Pulse Dogecoin's pumping because of Pulse Bitcoin. People are burning their Pulse Dogecoin to get as many ASIC miners as possible to start mining Pulse Bitcoin, or you can go ahead and you can mint your NFT and grab the ASIC token from that later on. Or you can do what I did. In addition, you can buy ASIC on the open market using a whole variety of coins. I did it on Uniswap. You can do it with Hex. You can do it with USDC, USDT. You can do it with Icosa, Hedron, and Hex. I think I said Hex. Yeah, you can go and buy it. And what I did, you might remember this, back in 2019, I bought a little Monero, little XMR. It's a privacy coin. You should have some in your portfolio. So I bought about $500 worth, 3.5 Monero coins. Well, to be completely frank, they've been sitting there doing jack shit. So I took that Monero and using Change.io, Change.io, I converted the Monero to USDT into my MetaMask. Bam, loaded up Uniswap. Bam, USDT maxed. Sell that shiz and acquire ASIC, and that's what you're looking at. That's what you're looking at right here. I acquired ASIC. Now it's got 0 there because I'm using it in a miner, and here I am mining. I acquired 310 ASICs, and I've been mining for 1 day out of a 30-day block, and my mining rewards will be 23. I'm wondering if that's today's mining rewards or if that's in total. Don't know. I don't know, but either way, 23 Pulse Bitcoins are coming my way. We're going to check tomorrow to see if it's going up. But anyway, I think this is wonderful. I think this is like, because let's just think about it. You can get in on this for nothing. It's day 6. You can get in on it for nothing if you're a Hex staker. If you're part of the staker class, you can get in for nothing. If you haven't got Hex stakes, you weren't involved in Hex. I've been talking about it now for 2 years. If you're not involved, you're not involved. You're probably not going to get involved. But if you were involved, you got these free tokens. I just mentioned 2 other free tokens that are coming your way. You got Texas token. You got Weight token. These are and Pulse Doge, right? This has already happened. These 2 are on their way. These are free tokens just by having Hex stakes. And then there'll be other ecosystems built around them. We're now learning about Pulse Bitcoin built around Pulse Dogecoin. I think this stuff is the way this builds up and out and becomes worthy, like financially worthy. It's fantastic. Is Pulse Dogecoin a meme coin? Yes, it is. Buy and hold is usually wise, not always, of course. That's my basic strategy with stocks. Gotcha. Redco, no stake is smart in this day and age. You don't think this is smart, this contract? What I'm hearing about it and the way I'm like grasping it and the way I'm understanding the mechanisms, it seems pretty smart. It seems like it's doing the right things. Deflationary, which puts price up. It's always smart to review and adjust your portfolio on occasion. Yeah. So no downside. That's like a cherry on top. This is like a, if you're playing with the house money, which is Pulse Dogecoin that you got for free. If you're doing what I did, which was to not use my Pulse Dogecoin, because I want that shizzle, because that's going up. I'm not selling that shiz, right? I'm doing it with my other money, which I got from DLive when they went from Lino to BTT, and when Elon Musk went and bought a 1.5 bill of Bitcoin in 2020, and my portfolio went up, and we bought a little Bitcoin and we bought a little Hex. We also bought a little Monero. Now I'm seeing a use case for it. Icosa and Hedron, yeah, hell yeah. I like your stream and I need to learn more. Dude, Redco, we're not done yet. We still got a load more to go here, but oh man, I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. My brain is about to explode, but that's a good explosion.
So it's got the white paper there as well as the audit results. And yeah, it's all good stuff. Now, let me blow your mind a little bit. Do you guys ever use Pulse Police? So Pulse
I've been there, and I'm not super good with keeping up, but yeah, I used to ask them questions in there.
Okay, well, Pulse Police is this Telegram chat that actually reviews whether or not a new launch is safe. So they've got devs that review for any holes, any problems whatsoever, and they either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So one of the guys who runs that is called USCG Vet. He is a developer whom is top tier. So guess what he's coming out with? He's coming out with a third-party application on top of Pulse Dogecoin, where if you held your original free claim, you're going to get rewards. If you...
What? I must have stopped watching this at this point. I can't remember this. You get it. So there's going to be another D app pulling in all this information. And if you, what did he say? If you held
above Pulse Dogecoin, out with a third-party application on top of Pulse Dogecoin, where if you held your original free claim, you're going to get rewards.
There's another coin, dudes. If you held your free claim Pulse Doge, which I did, you're going to be rewarded again with something. Whatever it is, we don't know yet. Jeez.
If you held your original free claim and strengthen your position, he's going to reward you even harder. So we just keep on winning here, man. And there's so many things going on. And there's one other dev who's in the beginning stages of building for our ecosystem. So we've got a lot of development going on. The Litecoin thing, Pulse Litecoin thing's coming. We just can't stop winning.
This is amazing.
That's awesome. That is super, super cool. So the idea of value in a liquidity pool for ASIC, you've probably had that conversation before. What are your thoughts on that? Right, I don't know what Pulse Doge sells for, but if it's $5 or $2 or something, right?
About 6.5.
6.5. So each coin would be if you're minting one thing for another, and that's the value in it, right? Say for like the Maxi Hex, right? Then Maxi's 1 cent, and then it finds its own value over time. Is there a consensus, or how are you thinking about that each one of them is going to be $1.25 or $1.20 or something?
No, we don't know. We really think that ASIC tokens could be bought on Uniswap, probably at a premium. Why? Because if you're an LP provider, and let's say you've got Pulse Doge and ASIC sitting in an LP, are you going to give away your ASICs? Probably not. You're going to put them at a premium range because they're so valuable to get you Pulse Bitcoin. So we don't think there's going to be, like RH says, I don't want cheap Hex anywhere. We don't want cheap ASICs anywhere either. So either you do the 5-for-1 Pulse Doge transformation, or you do the NFT $1 for 1 ASIC transformation for the first 30 days. And then that's it. There are no more ASICs. They cannot be minted. So there's going to be this fight, this brawl.
Wait, hang on. You can't mint any more ASICs. What?
30 days. And then,
okay. So you can't ever get any more ASICs after when?
You do the 5-for-1 Pulse Doge transformation, or you do the NFT dollar for one ASIC transformation for the first 30 days. And then that's it. There are no more ASICs. They cannot be minted. So there's going to be the
So you can't do what Sam was saying before. You can't take your Pulse Bitcoin that you mine and convert it to ASICs after the first 60 days. You have to buy it on the open market. Is that what I'm understanding? So you can't keep doing the cycle.
Pulse Doge transformation, or you do the NFT dollar for one ASIC transformation for the first 30 days. And then that's it. There are no more ASICs. They cannot be minted. So there's going to be this fight, this brawl to get ASIC tokens. And that's going to provide buy pressure.
So you got to get your ASICs up front then. Interesting. Okay, that's something that I hadn't really considered. You have to get as much ASIC up front, and just be aware that you are losing a small percentage each time you mine.
Because you, just to refresh me, so you said you can mint ASICs for how long?
So with Pulse Dogecoin, if you were to transform your PLSD, you have a 60-day window.
60 days for that.
At the end of that, it is cut off forever. No
so
more.
you can only transform your Pulse Dogecoin for ASICs in the first 60 days, of which we are now 54 days remaining.
ASICs. Now, there may be some guys that go through the NFT backdoor, right? Path number 2, that can put their ASICs out into the future. But they're diluting their value proposition because of the halvening events, which are anticipated somewhere around 6 to 8 months, not 4 years like Bitcoin. So if those guys wait, what are they getting for it? Now, here's why NFTs don't make sense to me. Sam, my average cost basis is less than $3 because I've been buying this thing ever since I got the free claim, right? I'm in at less than 3. Anyone else that comes in has to either pay $6.50 or whatever the spot buy is right now, or try the $5 peg with the NFT. Either way, I'm golden.
I'm sure you are. I don't personally own any of it, but it is fascinating, and I'm trying to think about how I can game the system.
No, it is fascinating. There's a lot of moving parts here that you can take advantage of, and I know that people don't generally figure stuff out super duper quick. It takes a couple of days, people working and stuff.
You just mentioned a $5 peg. Can you talk about that?
5 to 1.
So in the real world, I run this cozy little wine bar, artisanal pizzeria. And by the time I got into the chat yesterday morning, there were these 2 guys that were like, oh, Pulse Dogecoin is pegged at $5 forever because of this damn NFT thing. And it gives these people the right to do it. It was nothing but a bunch of FUD. And the answer is that yes, right now you can get an NFT with one like USDC in it, and you will get one ASIC. And so the notion is that's where the $5 or $1 per ASIC came from. So basically for $5, you would get 5 ASICs. And so what they were then trying to do is transmute that into, well, then that's going to be the price of Pulse Dogecoin forever. Fact is that the price of Pulse Dogecoin has not gone to $5. It is not going to go to $5, and it will keep on running up.
So the 60 days to have Pulse Doge to mint ASICs. Is that accurate? Yeah. Interrupt me if I say something that's incorrect. 60 days for the Pulse Doge to mint 1 for 5 ASICs. Also, during the first 30 days, if somebody wants to sacrifice for like Hex, Hedron, Icosa, or USDC, the $1 US value of any of those equals 1 ASIC as well.
Correct.
For 30 days.
Right. But you're not able to mint with those until the 31st day. So you could buy your NFT day 1. You could buy it today. It's not going to do you any good. So the Pulse Doge community gets a free 30 days run at the 7.5% yield for Pulse Bitcoin.
Makes sense.
Okay, to just get more. So then after there's going to only be a limited supply of, or the only way to mint ASIC is going to be through the NFT then in the future after 60 days.
Yes. Assuming that you bought the NFT in the first 30 days, you could put it out into the future.
Wow. Yo, Dead, thanks for following the Gives a Minute D live stream. Now this makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now, why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute D live stream. Thanks for the follow, Dead. Go easy with the amount of stickers, man. There's no need to dump stickers like that anymore on D live. Doesn't do anything for the chest because there is none.
No chest.
I just found that very interesting because the idea of making or minting an ASIC token after 30 days, the only way you can do that is if you've bought the NFT originally. Interesting. Gets heavy, huh? Hey, Dead, I'm not too sure where you come in from, but we're on a cryptocurrency stream here. We're learning about PulseBitcoin. It's very complex. It's a lot to take in. So at this stage, we're pretty deep in it. It might be a little hard to grasp or pick up from here, but I'm happy you're here anyway.
As long as you wanted to.
What do you, when you say put it out into the future, what does that mean?
So let's say you have 100 ASIC NFT that you bought day one. On day 31, up until the last halvening period, and there's 32 halvening periods, you can then redeem that 100 ASIC NFT for ASIC and then begin minting PulseBitcoin. But the issue is the longer you wait, the less effective the ASIC token becomes, because every halvening period, its effectiveness gets cut in half.
Yeah, but what he's not saying there is the halvening period isn't the same as the 30-day period. So it could be 6 months till then.
So the name of the...
I'm Russian. I don't really understand English. No worries. Then I won't bother explaining it. That's easy.
Game here, right, if we were to optimize it, would be to get as many ASIC tokens as soon as possible to get at that 10.5 million so that we get to 7.5%.
Yeah,
that's where
that
wealth
sense.
is made. Imagine you're Satoshi in the very beginning, day one of the launch of Bitcoin, and you're just pressing that return button. That's what this is doing. Do it for as long as you can.
Once somebody gets their NFT, they're basically just getting ASICs in 31 days.
If
They
want.
could, they would have to redeem it, right?
Then their NFT goes away.
It's burned, right?
And then they have 31. Okay. So there's a different ratio there of like what they can actually get for it. Interesting. On the LP thing, I was just thinking about this. You had mentioned that you think that the ASIC is going to sell at a premium, right? But I think that over that first 30 days, it's going to be hard to sell at a premium. So, for example, and I want to hear your thoughts. I'm just thinking out loud here. It's 1 for 5 on one side, right? So protocol 1 for 5. LP pool, if it's say 2 for 1, right? Pulse Doge 2 for 1 ASIC, right? Or whatever the ratio.
Are you a millionaire? Well, you don't understand English, so I'm not going to bother explaining anything because you don't understand what I'm saying.
Is if it's not equal to the protocol, then there's an arb point there.
Right. There's going to be arb plays all over the place, right? So tomorrow there will be a liquidity pool in all likelihood with ASIC tokens in it, likely paired with Pulse Dogecoin. As the price of Pulse Dogecoin goes up, the price of ASIC will go up. And so we think that you could short circuit the system, buy on Uniswap your ASIC tokens and begin minting them. You will always be able to do that. But the supply is it's like a noose, right? It's going to be ratcheted down because I could take those same ASIC, mint my Pulse Bitcoin with it, and just reap huge rewards. So why do I want to make a tiny little bit being an LP provider, even though I know you get a daily payout and so forth. But the fact is that the goal here, the pot at the end of the rainbow is Pulse Bitcoin. That will be the most valuable asset because we've got all this Pulse Doge in the beginning that's ratcheting up the price of the ASIC, which ratchets up the price of the Pulse Bitcoin due to halvening and so forth. So it's just it keeps on building. They're all three
for sure. The community is the big part. Like,
well,
you do need more users, and I'm not saying that millions of people won't enjoy this shit. That's not up to me, but I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, when you need people, just like everything, to buy and be active in the community and to be chatting and to feel like it has value in their brain rather than whatever reality, it doesn't really matter, they think they're living in. It just depends on what actually occurs. So, I mean, this is not like for sure stuff, any of this stuff, guys. I mean, I'm sure the guy who created it would say the same thing. Like we're all lucky enough to be here anyway, and doing what we like and buying coins that do pretty well in value. And it's a good, but nothing is certain in crypto. Nuclear war can occur. And then I'm sure PLSD will struggle.
Wow. It's a strange angle to add to the conversation. It's like that's life though. Like
everything else.
Right. Of course. So I always try to, COVID-19 happened. Who was going to predict that?
Fair point.
Give me the guy who was telling everyone that was going to happen. It's not possible sometimes. So we got to remember, guys, if you're just, oh man, I'm going to load up on this position because this is my only way out of this S-hole, probably not the best way to think about it. You should probably think about it like, what's going on here? What are the plays? How can I keep some liquid and then participate heavily and get a good rate? And, all that stuff. You want to be very much paying attention. I and Sam are both not involved in this financially. And that's not because I shouldn't be. It's just because it's how it
or
happens.
that it's not going to do well.
That's because Jim Rat Crypto sold all his Pulse Dogecoin.
Yeah, I can't cover everything. So and I'm going to try my best over the next couple hours to kind of dig in a little more, and I'll see how far I get. So any final questions before we wrap up? I got some couple things in the chat, and I don't know if we already answered this, but thank you for the €5 super chat, Mr. Bitbump. How much ASIC can there be max? Max PLSD 5+ all dollar value in the NFT. Any guess about the spot price?
Yeah. So we have no idea about the spot price. We think that it all depends on who sets the liquidity pool. But at a high level, if 100% of Pulse Dogecoin were burned, and there's roughly a total supply of 6 million, that would mean there would then be 30 million ASIC plus the NFTs. We have no idea how much money is coming in on that. It's probably not going to be a lot. It's not going to be like with Whatza. What did Whatza get?
It was that was a lot.
2,000?
Ridiculous.
I don't remember the total, but there was a bunch of them. Yes,
there were a bunch of them, right? Yeah. And it took that yield from the best down to like next to the worst, right? So yeah, that's
why I didn't get any of those Watts NFTs. I was like, that's not my game. Let other people have fun with that shit, but it's not something I'm gonna play.
Yeah. So there is no top end on the number of ASICs because of the NFT. We'll know that number, sir, after the first 30 days.
This is very interesting. Did GFC, you said there's some other questions as well?
Let me look here. I think we got all the. So one question from Cabana would be, audit is 100% complete, DApp is safe, etc. I'm not sure if we're connecting with the DApp all the way yet, right? For the main DApp.
Well, the DApp is live at 8 p.m. Tonight, and
one of the guys said 4 p.m. my time.
4 p.m. Eastern.
Oh yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern. So 4 p.m. Eastern, guys.
Yeah.
So
we both happen to be on the East Coast.
That would be 3 hours and 52 minutes, guys, from right now.
Yeah. So Cabana, fan of the show, by the way, man, you do great work. So I would wait if your concern is the DApp safe, I would wait for Pulse Police or our homeboy David Feeder to give it the thumbs up just to be safe. But Hex Info has a track record. He did Pulse Dogecoin. So I'd have to say at this point, yes, it's safe. But if you want a third party objective view, wait for Pulse Police and David.
I'll do it live. Probably. Like, I'll buy like a couple and just kind of go through the motions and see how it works. Because I have a couple accounts on this computer, so it shouldn't be really an issue. But let's see if anyone else. 20 in the live chat. Hold on one second. Much love, Pepe. Thanks, GRC and Sam. How about Pulse Litecoin? Is this turning into a joke? What do you mean? That's not very deep.
Is that a question?
I guess he's saying because in his head he thinks Litecoin's a joke, but really he probably just doesn't know.
Well, when RH said he'll never do a meme token, that was Pulse, or that was Hex Info's green light to do a meme token, because he is a great hedge. And so we're going down this path where you hear these names, Dogecoin, and how did he go after Dogecoin? He went after it, removing all the defects. And so you take a look at Doge, they meant 10,000 tokens a minute forever. What did he do with Pulse Dogecoin? He hard capped it, and now he's making it deflationary. Pulse Bitcoin, it chokes poor Mother Nature out, right? But the virtual representation of that
chokes poor Mother Nature out,
and it works, and it ratchets the price up. So we've got Pulse Bitcoin will be duplicated on a Pulse chain. Now he's got Pulse Litecoin coming. That's just how he's going after it. And it's fun, it's exciting, and it creates a compounding and an ROI environment that you can make real money with. So
absolutely.
There's you've been doing this for longer than I have, and you're aware that like a lot of people are super myopic and short-sighted.
Hey, go Army SOF. The world is coming. When? Hey, what? I didn't see it. What? Shit. Hey, did you know the world's coming? Shit. Let me know when it gets here.
I see that. I like, he's basically taking what Jack did, but with minting on, for.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. I wonder if he had any, that brought anything to his attention, like minting over time rather than having the whole entire circulating supply on the market is something that people are toying with right now. In Zen crypto, we all know, I talk about it on my show all the time. We spent a very low valuation for something that, has future projection. It's obviously all different and community based to a degree. And that's why I really emphasize the community here, guys. Like, if you Pulse Doge dudes want to stand out, just have intellectual and fun conversations online, but don't be hating on people because they don't understand what's going on. It's not going to ROI very well.
I might leave that there because he's bumping into conversation based around other things. I have watched this already, but that's pretty much the details of Pulse Bitcoin. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pop in the chat here. This is that channel and that video. If you need to go back and learn more, that's your guy. And also subscribe to Jim Rat Crypto. They do their Crypto in the Morning show. It's worthy to check out. What I want to do right now, though, that's going to wrap up this segment, if you like. We're going to put a pin in that. I will, just one more time, though, I will show you this so that we can come back to it another day. So this just was my miner, just so we can keep an eye on it. So my miner, if I drag this across here, my miner started yesterday, the 25th. My ID is 4023. I've got 310 ASICs, and my mining reward is 23 at this stage. I'm wondering if that's going to be a daily increment or if that's what I'll be assumed to get at the end of the 30-day period. I'm assuming that's going to be an incremental amount. We'll see as we go along, though. I've burned 0.777 ASIC. I also have an ATM, which is coming my way. You can see it here, one active ATM count. So I'll be getting the ATM at the end of the 30-day period, and I'll be adding this ASIC into my miner, as you can see here. That's the 99.857 points I shall receive for my tokenized NFT ASIC miner. And then I will be putting that in here, adding into another miner ID here. And so I'll have two at that point running. There's no transform PLSD because I'm not doing that. But I do have 265 Pulse Dogecoin, which I did receive as my airdrop, which I'm not touching. So that's what I wanted to show you. But what I want to do now, I want to take a quick slash, and then I want to come back and have a bit of a laugh at BitBoy Crypto's expense. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? This is going to be funny to look at. I've already seen it, but BitBoy Crypto blows his top. Absolutely blows his top. And I want to watch it again. I want to take a whiz first, though. I'll be right back. All right, let's move on here, folks. Just tell, Hendrik, are you still here? Can you tell me if you are still here, can you hear the AC now? I turned it up, and I just wonder if you can hear it. I don't think you'll be able to. Let me. I can just listen. I turned it up. No, you can't hear anything. That's good, man. You can't hear anything there. That's awesome. So BitBoy Crypto, he is a YouTuber who is loved and hated. I personally... So I'm going to say this. I watch BitBoy Crypto. Can't hear it with Kansas on. Thank you, Hendrik. Thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. I can probably turn it up even faster. I don't know why it wasn't working before, but it's perfect now. I do watch BitBoy Crypto's channel. I watch it on Odyssey, so I get the library coin rewards. And I don't watch any of his videos. I only watch the Around the Blockchain show and what's the other one called? Don't know what the other show's called. But anyway, I watch his long form live streams, and I did see this happen live. By the way, Hendrik, it's just you, I guess. Do you know what we're about to watch? Have you seen this? If anybody of the 12 people that are in the chat, of the 12 people that are here, has anybody seen what we're about to watch? This is BitBoy Crypto absolutely spitting the dummy, like major dummy spit. It's really quite funny. Pablano, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Cheers, ears. It's really quite humorous. I'm going to play the bulk of this. Like, you can just watch the actual bit. Haven't seen him? Okay. So just as a little bit of context, BitBoy Crypto is a ex-drug addict. Also, I believe he's convicted. I believe he's spent time in prison. He's reformed. He's a religious man, and he's also a crypto influencer. He suffers from high temper or high tension. He gets easily worked up, and he speaks very quickly. And a lot of the times when he's explaining something, I've got to go back and rewind it and listen again because he mumbles a lot and he merges words together. So when he gets going, it's hard to understand him to begin with. And when he really gets going, he gets really enigmatic and forceful. Check this out. This is the beginning of this stream, how it goes. Check this. This is from the beginning, we're watching it. It's worthy to get the vibe. BitBoy Crypto.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. The best way is if you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know, I want to tell you guys something. What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out about crypto.
He's also a millionaire, multi-millionaire.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel. Home of the Bit Squad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder in front of the scenes and behind the scenes to keep you in the know and safe in crypto. And let me tell you guys, my name is Ben. Come to you live every single day, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. TJ's out today. We got Frank on the board. Guys, today is
Frank.
Thursday, October the 20th. And I want you guys to understand.
So basically, he is your twin? Communication rant? Dude, I've never gotten... Actually, I'll let you decide. Have I ever gotten like this? Wait for this, and if I've ever been anywhere near that, let me know, and I'll dial it back, because I don't think I've ever got quite this far.
This today may be the most important moment in the history of crypto in the United States. We are at a moment in time where crypto is either going to free the people or enslave the people. Which side do you stand on? Because we're going to be calling out Sam Bankman-Fried today. This is going to be a fiery show, I can tell you that. We're working on legislation. This is a fact. And I want to show Twitter. Here's SBF here on Twitter. My current thoughts on crypto regulation. First of all, I want you guys to notice that the actual website, no, I don't want to block him. I want him to see all this. The actual website here is much different than the 15 tweets that he put out. A lot more details and a lot more of the language here explaining what he wants to do that's destructive. You have a guy in crypto literally explaining why we need to censor and sanction people. He says, if you send crypto to an address that they put on a block list, even if you don't know, you are now blacklisted. You are blacklisted. You cannot send crypto. Your address will never be good again. You can never send it into an exchange, even if you don't know that the address you're going to is blacklisted. And who has access to those blacklists? Who do you think? Only the exchanges. Okay. I did want to point out also on this here, this may be the most important part of the show here, is that, let me see if I can find it. Here's where it talks about this. If Alice wants to buy Sol from Bob in return, no, that's not it. That's not the one. It's somewhere up above where they talked about that. There's another place where it says that about the blacklist. But I want to find the part here. Here it is. On the one hand. There's Sam Bankman-Fried's typo on this page. Very well documented, obviously, as you guys can see. I just wanted to make sure I pointed out the flaw of his typo because that's very important.
Yes.
Guys, the fact is that what he's trying to do here, okay, he's trying to permanently censor people in crypto. And we're going to be bringing Wendy on here in just a few minutes, 10:45, and she's going to explain, guys, this is not DeFi only. This is coming for Bitcoin too. Remember all the times that we said they're not going to be able to legislate against DeFi? They can't. Guess what they are? They're making it illegal. And the exchanges are involved in it, including Uncle Brian Armstrong. I look at you, Brian. Hey, Thanksgiving ain't going to be happy this year. We're not going to have a good time over the turkey this year, Brian. Brian Armstrong and Sam Bankman-Fried, the CEOs of centralized exchanges, are trying to stifle crypto innovation in America. Number one, so the elites can stay the elites. And number two, so they win. They win. And let me tell you something. First of all, I want you guys to understand, Sam Bankman-Fried is absolutely lying. I'm going to explain how we know that here in just a second. But I want this guy right here, Ryan Sean Adams. I don't know who the F you are because you're not important. But here he says, please, dear Lord, and any lawmakers or adults reading this tweet, just know BitBoy doesn't represent us either. Talk to Jay Stravinsky. Talk to Miller CWL. Talk to Coin Center. You know what? We are tired of people that look like this guy trying to run stuff. I don't represent the people. The fuck I don't. I'm the one who does. It's me. I'm the one out here putting the work in behind the scenes trying to save crypto while these devils, Sam Bankman-Fried, Brian Armstrong, they're trying to permanently ruin it. This is not about money for me. I hope you guys understand this. I am here fighting for you. This guy with these freaking glasses on, this douchebag, is out here trying to tell you that only the suits know what to do. Only the suits. Only the people who have all the money. They're the ones who can determine what happens. No, our bill is for the people. And you're going to find this out. We've got the funding for it, and it's coming out. But guess what? Things are complicated now. You want to know why? Because let me tell you what FTX did. Let me tell you what Sam Bankman-Fried did. Okay? This guy took our bill, stole language from it, actually stole language from our California state bill. Our California state bill stole language from it and put it in their bill, what they're doing. Okay? When behind our backs tried to steal our supporters, we have some of the highest people on the Republican side and the Democratic side. We're on both sides. Democrats, you don't want another bad-haired billionaire telling you what to do? That's what he's trying to do. Republicans, you want one man? You want one man trying to determine what's best for all of our finances? Are you not tired of this technocracy? Are you not tired of it? I hope you are, because I am. I'm tired of it. And I'm not standing for it. Our bill's funded now. We're funded. We're moving forward. We're going to be able to come out publicly with this very soon. Very soon. If you guys are in our political Discord, go get in there. We're going to be doing an AMA as soon as this thing goes public. And you guys are going to see that we're the ones who care. We are the ones who are trying to give the people a say in what happens, not the elites and the politicians. John Boozman, Stave Now, you guys need to understand who you are working with Sam Bankman-Fried. You think this is positive crypto regulation. You think it's positive. It is not. It is not positive. If you want to permanently isolate the crypto community, include FTX's language inside of your bill, include the language inside of the bill that basically outlaws DeFi. There is a leaked report. Do we have that pulled up? The leaked report.
I feel like we should just leave him there. That's pretty much the bulk of it, though. But what? Just. Oh, hello, Philippine88. Yo, Philippine, thanks for following the Gives a Minute D live stream. Now, this makes you the latest giver right here on the channel. Now, why would this make you a giver? Well, let me explain. You see, you're giving me your time to consume the content, whereas me, I'm a giver because I'm giving you my time to create the content. And so you see how we're both givers here, and this is a two-way street. But you're the latest giver on the Gives a Minute D live stream. Thanks for the follow, Philippines. Back up in the chat, Pablo, I get pissed off about this kind of bullshit as well. He rages, I don't do that. It's counterproductive. So that's, we've seen him do similar in the past, but not as far as that. Like, he let an F-bomb out, and he's a very religious man. So for him to get to that point where he's fucking and cursing and slapping the table, it just, if anything, I like the guy more now. And I was always a bit on the shelf with him. I was like, yeah, I watch it, but I find him a bit too much. But I like him more after seeing that rant. I agree with what he's saying, and he gave it like an awful amount of passion, right? Like that's an Oscar-winning effort for sure. There was an attempt to set up a truth commission here a few months ago. Censor anything they consider. Right. Misinformation was shot down, thank God. Damn control freaks. But what I've got now, which is even funnier, of course, when the internet grabbed a hold of this, what do you think they did?
Stand not about money for me. Fuck this guy. Not about money for me. Fuck devil. Not about. But I want this guy right here, Ryan Sean Adams. Just know BitBoy doesn't represent us either. I don't represent the people. The fuck I don't. I'm fighting for you. I'm the one who died trying to save crypto. It's me. I'm fighting for you. I'm the one out here putting the work in. Devil, you're not important. I'm fighting for you. I'm the one who died trying to save crypto. It's me. I'm fighting for you. I'm the one out here putting the work in. I hope you guys understand this. Not about money for me. Fuck this guy. Not about money for me. Fuck devil. Not about money for me. Fuck this guy. Not about money for me. Fuck devil. Not about money for me. Fuck this guy. Not about money for me. Fuck devil. Not about money for me. Fuck. I don't represent the people. The fuck I don't. I'm fighting for you. I'm the one who died trying to save crypto. It's me. I'm fighting for you. I'm the one out here putting the work in. Devil, you're not important. I'm fighting for you. I'm the one who died trying to save crypto. It's me. I'm fighting for you. I'm the one out here putting the work in. I hope you guys understand this.
That's too good, eh? And that's just one of 3 I've got here. That's so good. That's so good. Like, and I saw him talk about that. He laughed at it as well. He found that funny, which is good. Check this one.
It's me. I'm the one out here putting the work in behind the scenes trying to save crypto while these devils, Sam Bankman-Fried, Brian Armstrong, they're trying to permanently ruin it. This is not about money for me. I hope you guys understand this. I'm here fighting for you. You. It's me. This guy, with these freaking glasses on, this douchebag, is out here trying to tell you that only the suits know what to do. Only the suits. Only the people who have all the money. They're the ones who can determine what happens. No, our bill is for the people. And you're gonna find this out. I don't represent the people. The fuck I don't. Fuck I don't. Fuck I don't. Fuck I don't. The fuck I don't. Fuck I don't. Fuck I don't. Fuck I don't. I'm the one out here putting the work in behind the scenes trying to save crypto while these devils, they're trying to permanently ruin it.
Little bubble.
That's awesome. It's called spurging. Is that what that is? There a name for that? It's called spurging. Losing control and furiously ranting. Trolls love making people spurg. Is that right? That was cool. There's one more I got here too, but those are definitely the best 2. This one's relatively good, but that was cool. He should start a metal band. He could be in a metal band. Hey, after that rant.
Trying to tell you this is about money for me. It's me. I'm here fighting for all the money. Devils, douchebag, with these freaking glasses on. This is about money for me. It's me. I'm here fighting for all the money. Fuck I don't. I'm the one who does. I'm the one who does.
Please don't sue me, BitBoy, like you sued that other guy. I know I'm no way down, but this is just a paradise. When you come for bankless and RSA my guy, that's when I respond with a hearty remix battle cry.
Ryan Sean Adams. I don't know who the F you are. Ryan Sean Adams. I don't know who the F you are. Ryan Sean Adams. I don't know who the F you are. Ryan Sean Adams. I don't know who the F you are. This is about money for me. It's me. I'm here fighting for all the money. Devils, douchebag, with these freaking glasses on. This is about money for me. It's me. I'm here fighting for all the money. Fuck I don't. I'm the one who does. I'm the one who does. I'm the one who does. All the money. I'm the one who does. All the money. I'm the one who does. All the money. I'm the one who does. I'm the one who does. I'm the one who does. All the money. I'm the one who does. All the money. I'm the one who does.
So the point he's making there is that all these scams that BitBoy's been involved in, pump and dumps, I guess that's what the point he's making. And I'm assuming that's meant to go silent like that. Yeah, interesting stuff though. I thought that was worthy of looking back into just to see shits and giggles. Good to sort of bring it down a little at the end of the stream as well, because that BitBoy, that Bitcoin PulseBitcoin conversation really has taxed me. He sounds a bit like a TV evangelist. Pabs, this is a I mean he he has got a religious angle to his presentation, and he does often go into a religion, just taps into it, and I'm like, oh, keep that out of it. It's also like he goes into he'll talk a lot about like local sporting events, and it's like, dude, you're on the internet, like you're broadcasting an internet show about cryptocurrency to the whole planet, and you talk about your local sporting team. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Like whenever I hear anything about, they're called the Braves because I know the Brave browser. Whenever I hear him talk about that, I just skip past it. I'm like, dude, I do not care about your local sporting team. I couldn't give a rat's about it. And anybody else that's there for your cryptocurrency content also doesn't care. So he goes down those avenues, and it's kind of like, just, it's tedious. Pump and dumps. Is that a porno? Sure sounds like it. He's been involved in pump and dumps. Yeah, well, so the channel BitBoy Crypto used to have paid promotions, and they'd always come in and say this is a paid promotion by so-and-so coin. And then those coins, people looked into them and saw massive wallet addresses that assumably were linked to people within the know. And you can search it up, and there's been some pretty horrendous stories about him. And there's also a few people some YouTubers that have made some pretty scathing commentary about him, and then he's gone and tried to sue them for defamation. So there's a lot of that out there. I'm not really interested in digging into that, but the point when he came out, this is only like about a week ago now, 5 days ago, when this rant happened, I was like, dude, that is gold. Like all the shit that I've seen from him before that, it kind of gets pushed aside. I'll give him a fresh slate because of that rant. He wins me over with that rant. And the fact that even just like the way he said it, like, I don't represent the people. The fuck I don't. It's like he's patting himself on the back at the same time. He's like, I am the best here, and if you don't believe it, you gotta believe it because I'm telling you it. Well, we're gonna get out of here now, folks. I'm gonna just mellow out a little and try to get back some semblance of brain. Just feel taxed after these streams, really, really taxed. But thanks for being here with me. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And Pulse Bitcoin. It's a thing. It's 6 days in. Get into it. Get onto it. Like I said, if you had a staked hex when I did, you could have got Pulse Dogecoin for free, and you could be in on Pulse Bitcoin as well. You could have been there with me. I think you did. I don't think you did. Anyway, folks, I'll see you tomorrow where we'll talk about the alternator, and I'll see how this is all going, and maybe I'll take the Steve Ann for a run. And then tomorrow, Friday, I'm going to do an IRL stream, weather permitting. I've got to get my big pick out, and I've got to go and drink beers. And right on, have a great one. Thanks, Hendrik. See you all tomorrow, skins, I guess, on the flip side. And thanks for the follows. I've got a few followers on this stream. Appreciate that. Of course, it could have just been trolls, but anyway, we'll see another time. See you later, you fellow yahoos. Confused, considering, or curious about crypto? Now you learned. Get out of here.